the nicest this lap.
3 wide Indy.
This is like a damn plate race. Yeehaw, baby. 3 with no help, pushing up. Race all the way back, baby. We got this. Real, man. Awesome job, dude. Awesome job. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Oh, my God. We are the champions. Yes. Lakers, sorry, boys. Yes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls alike. We are here for another edition of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Very excited to be with you. We're on my channel this week. I am joined, as always, by our normal Mount Rushmore panelists of hosts. That's very very arrogant, very cocky to introduce us as the Mount Rushmore. The Mount Rushmore of what? I have no idea.
Eric, the ego.
Hey, I think we're going to put together a pretty fantastic show because I'm in a great mood after Watkins Glen. 4 races at the Glen this week, and it had been so long. So I think we're about to continue this great momentum that the racing put on this past weekend. But I'm joined by Darian Gilliam, aka Black Flags Matter. Down to my lower right is Jarrett Lundberg, the Iceberg, and then below me.
Hello there.
Hello. This is a bit wild. We've got Danny B. Danny from Danny B Talks. Gentlemen, where do we even get started? Watkins Glen had 4 races: ARCA, Trucks, Xfinity, Cup. First truck race there in like 20 years. First Cup race, first any race there in 2 years. Let's start with the Cup race. They announced for, I think, what did they say, the 6th straight year, obviously not counting last year, which didn't exist, a grandstand sellout. So fans in the Northeast, we're excited to see NASCAR return, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. Obviously, Chase Elliott entered the race as the favorite, but then he had some complications, him and his crew chief, unfortunately. And even Gustafson, he had to leave the track, didn't he?
Theoretically.
Damn.
And I don't think Chase Elliott has ever won without Alan Gustafson as crew chief.
He was close, like really close. And I got to say, like coming from the back all the way to finish P2, like he didn't win the race, but I mean, just Chase Elliott on these road courses, man.
How about Larson, though? That's now his 2nd road course win this season.
Yeah, I mean, for a while
3.
there.
If Coda goes green, he probably wins that one.
Yeah, for a while.
Much before this year, I never, thought of him as a contender on the road courses.
I think road courses in general, just the best drivers typically rise to the top. You obviously need a good car, but that's what I thought. If you looked at that top 5, I mean, it was Larson, it was Elliott, it was basically 3 JGR drivers. It was Busch, Truex, Hamlin, I think roughly in that order. Truex, Busch, Hamlin. You can make an argument those are the 5 best drivers in the Cup Series today. So I think you need a good car, but road courses, especially like Watkins Glen, where everyone has some experience there, I think it's really the best drivers typically rise to the occasion. So Hendrick's lucky right now that they got 2 really, really good young drivers.
Truex finished 3rd, right?
Yeah,
I got to pull that up right here really quick. Just reading off the teams in order of finish. Hendrick, shut up, UFO. UFO is making a lot of noise right now. And then it's Gibbs, Hendrick, Gibbs, Stewart-Haas, Richard Childress.
There you go. Yeah, good drivers, good teams. I mean, Gibbs and Hendrick class of
Who was the Stewart-Haas cars?
It was Harvick and Briscoe.
Briscoe got a top 10. Hey, let's go, Briscoe.
That's, I think, isn't that his, he has a
That's
couple
his best finish, I think, right?
Season? Does he have a couple other top 10s this year at other road courses? I think he has a couple top 10s as well.
He's a pretty solid road course racer. I actually think he might do good this weekend because he's got the experience on it now.
Yeah, he won there last year.
I'll look it up right now. So while you guys are going, I'll look up Chase Briscoe.
All right, but back to Larson though. I mean, it all goes back to you have to have a good car and stuff. Sure, talent does take you some ways and stuff. But obviously, I mean, looking back, I mean, the Chip Ganassi equipment he was in on these road courses sort of limited him because I mean, ever since he's made the switch to Hendrick, he's like one of the main contenders now. So
well, yeah, think about 2018 and 2019, year 1 and 2, both years were Chase Elliott and Martin Truex Jr. Now, 2021, Larson suddenly in new equipment, he goes right up top of those 2.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so looking at Briscoe's season so far, he currently has 3 top 10s at COTA, Road America, and Watkins Glen.
Yeah, okay, so he has a few top 10s all at road courses. And we'll get to our predictions, of course, at the end of this episode, but I think the Indianapolis road course this weekend could be maybe his best shot to steal a victory early in his rookie season, but we'll see. Not going to make any spoilers here. I'm still trying to tread water and catch up to Jarrett for the points lead in our picks, but
Yeah.
We're down in the basement. Me and Danny are, man. We're down, and so is the chat. I think the chat's or is the guest down with us.
Me and Darian are that meme where it's like, okay, the parent is with the kid, the other kid's struggling, and then there's the two skeletons at the bottom of the lake. That's me and Darian right now.
Yeah, our seasons are basically dead, but hey, we can at least try and salvage them somewhat. But we'll see.
Well, best of luck. Well, Kyle Larson gets the win this week, but it doesn't come without some controversy. Fairly late in the race, it was a pretty incredible battle in stage 3 between Truex, Christopher Bell, and Kyle Larson in the top 3. Going into turn 1, though, Bell and Larson make contact. Larson maybe drove in a little too deep. Bell maybe didn't give him enough room. Bell ends up getting the worst of it and spins out. He comes back to finish 7th. But I thought it was interesting this week, Kyle Larson was quoted saying that Christopher Bell is not willing to talk to him. He hasn't been able to talk to Christopher Bell. He's not returning his phone calls. These two are supposed to be buddies, dirt racing rivals, but like a friendly, respectful rivalry. What the heck is going on? Darian, what's happening?
Well, I mean, like, this isn't the first incident. You go back to Dirt Bristol. I remember them; they both wrecked each other.
Was it Bell who spun out and collected Larson?
I think it was Bell.
Yeah.
He did spin out, collected Larson, and then Larson, like, I wouldn't say Larson repaid the favor or whatever. It's just another, it's just another racing deal at Watkins Glen. But yeah, I was a tad bit surprised by that too.
And the thing is, Bell, like, I mean, I think, obviously racing deal and all, but if you're looking at who's probably most responsible for it, I mean, Bell turned down. It wasn't like Larson just came in there and wiped him out.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing this to like stand for Hendrick here, but I mean, it's pretty evident when they showed.
Call it what it is.
Yeah, when it's pretty evident when you look at the replay that he came down. It's not like either of them were malicious in intent. I think it was just a racing deal. Like,
yeah, I am surprised though he's not returning his calls though. I'm like, oh, that's a little, I think that's a bit much. Talk it out.
I think I know what it is. I think Christopher Bell is busy doing his hobbies at home. He keeps his phone on silent. He's out gardening, and he just by the time he gets back to his phone, who cares? It's been too long now. So.
Yeah, he's too busy dirt racing. Basically, he doesn't have enough time to answer any calls. Right?
Since the incident at Watkins Glen, Larson went out and won another sprint car race. So I don't know what Bell's doing with his spare time, but.
Dang. Not returning his calls. That's for sure.
Apparently. Well, yeah, I agree with you though, Jared. That did look kind of like a racing deal. It was interesting. My initial observation, as well as it felt like everyone in the broadcast booth thought Bell was mostly to blame for not giving him enough room, for kind of pinching him down onto the curbing. Larson took the blame though for it in his post-race interview. So really, I think it's 50-50, a little bit here, a little bit there. So that makes me really surprised that Bell wouldn't reach out to Larson, or at least answer Larson's call when it wasn't even all Larson's fault in the first place. So, and
I don't even think it was even that serious of an incident to where it's like you wouldn't return it. Like I can understand if Larson like just straight up dumped him in turn 1 or whatever. But I mean, it was just a racing deal. But I mean, they do have some history, I guess, of wrecking into one another. So I don't know. Maybe that might have.
Well, they're going to have to be
racing with it. So
they're probably going to have to race around each other up front for another 10 to 15 years. Like,
yeah,
they need to figure it out. I think they will figure it out. But I will say that if Bell holds a grudge with this, I'm not going to be opposed. Like, I'm fine with fireworks.
Hey, I'm fine with that. Hey, more on-track chaos. That's good for us. It gives us something to talk about, basically. More stuff.
Gives all the fans something fun to watch, especially two really talented drivers like that. I mean, this year alone, I was thinking back to the Chili Bowl. It was Bell chasing down Larson, who then jumped the cushion and flipped. Yeah. Like, dramatic stuff between those two this year, and it's all happening at the front of the field, which is also great for the fans at home. Yeah. But we can't gloss over the guy who finished second. Chase Elliott didn't win, but I think he stole the show in that final stage. He had put himself behind, the team put themselves behind first by failing inspection multiple times, crew chief out, lost their starting position, et cetera, et cetera. But then Elliott, early in the race, wheel hopped locked up the tires, locked up the brakes going into turn 1, flat spotted the tires. That put them behind yet again. Despite these setbacks, he still put together the fastest laps of the race, drove back to second, and it was about 10 seconds between him and Larson with 21 laps to go. By the end of the race, it was down to about 2 to 3 seconds. So he made up a ton of time in those closing laps. Jarrett, what'd you make of Chase Elliott's recovery? Is he still the best? I mean, he's obviously the best road course racer in NASCAR, right?
Oh, easily. The way I put it was that watching Elliott at Watkins Glen is like the equivalent of watching an Earnhardt at a super speedway. They're just on another level. Like, and that's the thing. Elliott, Elliott was never going to catch him based on just running him down on the track. He needed a caution, he needed something, just because the way that he would have to run him down ended up burning his tires up, and he really didn't have a chance at the end. Larson was able to save all that. But the fact that he came also from like dead last all the way up there too. And that's the thing. I hear a lot of people didn't like this race and they complained about no passing, but then at the same time I'll look and they say, but look what Chase Elliott did. And
he passed everybody to get
twice.
When a driver, but it shows when a driver is better, no matter where they are, what they do, like they're gonna rise to the top. But man, if he would have finished that off, I think you could have put that up there with like Earnhardt in 2000 at Talladega if he finished that off. Yeah, I think it's that impressive.
That would have definitely been one of the greatest, like, what would you call it? Comeback victories, I guess you could say.
Rallies, like late race rallies, I guess.
Something like that. I don't know.
Because Earnhardt passed how many, like 18 cars in the last like 3
laps.
Yeah,
17, 3 laps at Talladega. It was nuts. Mm-hmm. Danny, what'd you make? I know your wife's a big Chase Elliott fan. Was she was she watching, or what'd you make of Chase Elliott's final rally?
So like around this time was during time of like awards and all that for my fishing tournament this weekend, but I was keeping up the races a little bit, so I knew kind of briefly that Chase Elliott was like trying to come back and win. Claudia kept kind of like texting me and she was like, "Oh, this kind of exciting." And it was like, but then I think she was like at the end she was like, "Larson wins, boo."
Incredible commentary. Getting your hopes up. Oh,
Larson, but right now Chase Elliott is the best.
It wouldn't get my hopes up because I know Bowman sucks at road courses.
No. But yeah, Chase Elliott right now is the best road course racer in all of NASCAR period. But also, look out for Kyle Larson and Austin Cindric next year when he goes full time in the Cup Series. He's gonna have some more challenges down the road.
Austin Cindric has impressed me in every road course race he's been in this year. Really, every race he's been in this year in the Cup Series, he's been pretty good.
And is he racing in the Cup Series this weekend?
Yes.
Oh, he is. Yeah. It's gonna be good.
And I think
sound the alarm.
AJ's in this one too. I think.
Oh, this is gonna be a fun race.
The ringers are back.
Yeah. This is gonna be a fun ass race to go to.
I just realized we can call AJ Dinger the Ringer.
Dinger.
Nice.
Dinger the ringer. Dinger the ringer.
AJ Allman ringer. There we go.
Oh my God.
Good times. Good. We keep getting ahead of ourselves. So many good road course races happening or about to happen. Very excited for this weekend. But
we're going to this one.
I know this one's going to be fun. I'm excited for Indianapolis. It's going to be a good time. But a couple other details I wanted to note before we talk about the points, the playoff standings, because they've actually widened slightly because of Reddick's good run. But this race from green to checkered was only 2 hours and 11 minutes long. I don't think many people seem to notice. I think it was a good length. Watkins Glen races are usually a little bit shorter, but 2 hours and 11 minutes. What do you guys think? Do you think that's the future of NASCAR?
Enough, it fell right into NBC's plan to be over right in time for Music City Grand Prix too.
And then the Music City Grand Prix got over into
like 4 hours.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. But to your point though, I think NASCAR does need to go in this direction more. Shorter races for races that aren't necessarily considered crown jewel events. Like, do we really need to do 500 miles at Texas Motor Speedway? Did we really need to do 500 miles at Pocono? Not necessarily. And they have cut back on some of these races. I will say though, this is the Cup Series. I think, having races like on mile and a half tracks being like 300 miles, I feel like that's too short. Like, I don't know. I feel like a good medium would be, some of these races that aren't marquee events, somewhere in the 350 to 400 range. This is still the Cup Series. Like, this is still stock car racing. F1 and IndyCar, the races are a lot shorter for certain reasons. But in NASCAR, though, these cars, they can run a lot longer than some of these other cars can. So, obviously, you do shorten up the races, but don't make them too short, in my opinion.
Let's go to kilometers like we did in 2020. Let's do that. Let's like Michigan, for instance. I think 155 laps at Michigan is a good length.
That's fine.
Did Danny see a ghost? I'm sorry.
Whoa! Nice. You got a super chat. You got a super chat.
Oh my gosh.
$100 super chat.
I'm sorry to derail your point, Jared. But real quick, appreciate TVP83. He's done this a few times now on several of our channels.
Yes. Thank you.
Very, very generous. We have been monitoring the chat here in the beginning, and we will be reading all of your super chats at about the halfway point. Did you delete the message, Darian?
Wait, did I delete the message?
I don't know. It says you deleted
What?
the message.
Wait, I deleted the message. What?
What?
It says,
Dumbass.
I just
Dumbass.
No.
I just tapped the freaking message. What? How did I delete it?
Oh no.
Maybe I can still pull it back up.
Dumbass.
Hold up.
Okay.
I swear I did not even hit anything.
Okay.
Maybe-
Okay.
Well,
If you hit anything.
If TVP will quickly comment what he said, I'm going to read it because of Darian.
It was
What in the
something
hell?
like I saw. It was something about being excited for the Indianapolis race this weekend.
Just-
So
Don't super chat it again, but just
We'll
comment
read
it.
I guess I accidentally did. I'm sorry. I just tapped it. I just tapped it for a
Remove his
second.
moderator status. You're done.
he said
You're
thanks,
done.
Darian, in the chat. Oh
That
my
was not on
god!
purpose at all. Oh my god.
Oh, that's so unprofessional.
I was trying to
God.
read it, and oh my goodness, it's still up.
Dude,
and it's
you
easy.
you better apologize to him in your Hall of Fame speech, man.
Yeah, I will. In 30 years, I'll apologize. But dude, yeah, pull up the super chat later though in your thing, Eric. I didn't mean to do that.
I will see if I can pull up the comment there. But either way, thank you very much for the generosity,
Thank you.
and everyone else.
Sorry
We will
to
get to
me.
those super chats at the top of the hour. I saw Danny. He must have seen it a couple seconds before I did because he looked like he'd seen a
Yeah.
ghost. I thought
No,
I thought Shugs had grown
I
like
mean-
6 feet tall and was knocking on his window
Oh
or
my
something.
God, Shugs!
Sorry,
So
Derek, go on,
kind of
Jared.
rolling back here. But I think like races like 500, 600, Southern 500, those ones should be left alone. I think like Talladega should be left alone. Martinsville's fine. I even think Bristol Night Race is fine. Like a lot of them can be left alone, but I think that 155 laps at Michigan is like I think 500 kilometers. So you could still have like the blankety blank 500. Like the pure Michigan 500 or whatever. I think like 207 laps, at the mile and a halfs was pretty good. That could work.
Mm-hmm.
I think races that people generally don't like too much, if you can fix the racing product and have it in a much more time crunched manner, I think it could be something really good. But I don't think it should be a quick fix for the problems of the car. Because like the next gen, for instance, like it's not going to be perfect on rollout. So like if the next gen sucks at, I don't know, Kansas, race shouldn't be shorter, or we shouldn't go to the road course layout for one of them because we can't get the racing right at the mile and a half kind of thing. Like I hope that this isn't something that's kind of a quick fix to try and make entertainment value when I mean, a lot of the highest watched races are the longer races when you look at it, even if you are comparing crown jewels to non-crown jewels. So I don't know, man. I think that a few of them would be good, but I don't want to go all out and be like, screw it, let's go as short as an ARCA race every week, baby.
Oh no, not for the Cup Series. No way.
No,
No,
I'm with
but I
you.
think a few short ones good.
Keep the crown jewels, Daytona 500, Coke 600. Keep them what they are traditionally. But I just think. I know we have to think in terms of miles, obviously, but for me, like if most Cup races are about 2.5 hours long, I think that's a good number, and that's not necessarily for entertainment. I think it is more. It's just the nature of the game. You got to look at what your competition is doing and where they may be beating you. And I do think part of the reason Formula One is on the rise, not just in the U.S. but worldwide, is because in this day and age, people don't have 3.5 or 4 hours to dedicate start, beginning, middle, end to a sporting event as frequently. I know that's one of the chief complaints about baseball games. That's one of the chief complaints about college football games. Those games will go on over 4 hours sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot to invest in. And so you might scare away new potential fans if you're telling them they have to sit there for 3.5 hours. So that's where it comes from for me. But I understand a lot of fans. I don't want to see less racing, but I'm looking at what's best for the health of the sport going forward and what will help it appeal to as many people as possible. Now, we basically talked about Watkins Glen, but one driver that I want to mention who had a tremendous day was Tyler Reddick. He has been on a roll lately. Tyler Reddick came into this race only 5 points ahead of his teammate Austin Dillon for the final playoff spot as they currently stand. He went out in stage 1, I believe, and finished fourth. To collect, I guess, what's that, 7 playoff or stage points you get with that?
Yeah,
So-
there was quite a lot.
And
for
he came
a guy
back-
in his situation.
And he still outran his teammate Austin Dillon throughout the rest of the race to gain 10 points total on Austin Dillon at the end of the day. So now if we look at the playoff cut line with just 3 races left, we didn't mention this earlier also, but Larson and Hamlin are now tied for the regular season points lead. So even though Denny Hamlin's like 300 points to the good, if we do have 3 more winners in these final 3 races. He could be in trouble, but I think that's very unlikely. So right now, 15th on the playoff grid is Harvick. He's 95 points above the cut line, really just hoping nobody else wins, Tyler Reddick is still the last driver in, plus 15, and Austin Dillon is still the first driver out, minus 15. Everyone behind Austin Dillon needs to win.
You need a miracle.
Indianapolis, Michigan, or Daytona if they want any shot at getting in. So, guys, what do you make of Tyler Reddick? It's battle between the RCR guys as they currently stand.
I mean, at the moment, I was like criticizing like the playoffs and stuff. I was like, oh man, this is going to be a boring cutoff race. And then all of a sudden Amarola wins. And it's like, oh, we have a whole new ball game here. And I mean, I expected Reddick to one up Dillon this week, last weekend. I mean, Dillon's track record on road courses isn't necessarily the best. And Tyler Reddick, I mean, he's a can't miss talent. So he'll run good anywhere in general if you give him a good enough setup. And he proved that this weekend. And those 10 points were very crucial. And I also have to think, like, what is the atmosphere like over at RCR? I mean, do we now have a situation where it's like one team, has their side and the other team has their side now? Because, they're both trying to make their way into the playoffs right now. And it's like
hide their notes Dillon, for a couple of weeks.
Exactly. Yeah. Like Reddick's on that, he's above right now. And then like Austin Dillon's below that cut line. So it wouldn't surprise me if like both teams have kind of like gone their own separate ways a little bit,
I think it'd be funny to be like, Tyler Reddick, let's say Tyler Reddick beats Austin Dillon at Daytona, and they'll probably now have like the pictures with all the team owners and their drivers with the trophy and all the playoff members. And so there's Richard Childress and there's Tyler Reddick, and they're all smiling like, yeah, we're in, woohoo. And then it's just, immediately cameras go off. You son of a bitch.
I was thinking more like he has to walk past his grandson to go take the photos with Tyler Reddick instead. Just pats him on the head. You're gonna get him next year, kid.
Or like that happens, and then the next few hours go by. Tyler Reddick is disqualified.
Can we make a substitution?
Yes.
We're rebranding the 8 to the 3. Sorry, Austin, you had your shot.
And also think about it. Before the Amarola win, it was a perfect situation. Oh, we're going to get 2 of our cars into the playoffs. And then, I mean, there was a reason Austin Dillon was like low-key blocking Amarola in those final laps, because he's like, oh, crap. Now we're screwed here now, basically.
What I'm just thinking is going to happen here, we're all talking about, which RCR car is going to make it in? Neither, because what if Bubba Wallace goes out and wins Daytona?
I feel like there's going to be one surprise winner. I don't know, like, whether it's Daytona or whatever.
I just realized this. With Daytona and then Talladega looming, it's not impossible for Bubba and Michael to be correct in that they win 2 races this year.
That is true. It is a possibility, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. They are getting better though as the season has progressed. So I'll give them that.
They're a legit contender when we get there. I know they got speed there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If we're looking at points though, I got to go with Tyler Reddick the rest of the way. He's good at road courses. I think he'll be fine at Michigan. And, Daytona's an iffy one, but at the same time, him and Dillon, they got the same stuff either way.
Yeah.
Will they draft with each other? What if it comes down to the final stretch and like it's Austin Dillon pushing Tyler Reddick on the inside on the restart? Like, how do they do that?
Hook him! You're hooking him for the win! Hook him for the win!
Granddad's car! Whoa!
Hey, we've seen Dillon do that before.
We're gonna see a repeat of Brian Vickers' 2006 Talladega for you.
Hey, dude, I'm sorry. It's the playoffs, final lap. You're trying to make it. There are no teammates in these final races.
You're gonna get one of those Lewis. It's James coming out of turn 4.
Lewis, it's James, please.
But I earned this spot. What's your last name, kid? Oh shit. Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
We'll see.
Things did look good for RCR getting both cars in up until New Hampshire.
Almirola screwed. He ruined everything.
Before we move on completely from Watkins, Glen, we got to talk about TV ratings real quick, and then we're going to look at the famous iceberg poll.
Famous iceberg poll is back. Let's go.
Ratings weren't great. I know they had a grandstand sellout according to reports, so that's very good for Watkins Glen, the track. But ratings were, I'd say, pretty disappointing. TV ratings on NBCSN, it got a 1.25 rating and averaged about 2.124 million viewers, which is down about 600,000 viewers from the most recent Watkins Glen race in 2019. So a pretty severe drop off. That 2.1 million viewers is comparable to what New Hampshire got right before the 3 week or two week. I say 3 weeks because it was really 3 weeks, 2 weekends though before the break. So not tremendous numbers. It was still, according to Adam Stern, the most watched sporting event on cable this past weekend. So I mean, yeah, you take the small victories where you can get them. But I don't know about you guys. I definitely was hoping for 2.5 million or more viewers coming out of the break. But maybe it's the break that killed all momentum and people forgot there was a race on.
I was just about to say that. You know, I'm not entirely shocked by that figure because, you know, during the break, I remember, you know, turning on NBC and stuff, and it's like they really marketed the whole Music City Grand Prix event during the break extremely well. That was the main focus, it seemed like, during the break. So when NASCAR comes back, like, yeah, you know, their ratings are a tad bit down stuff, but look at IndyCar's rating, you know, like the highest rating for any IndyCar race outside of the Indy 500 since 1998. You have to go back that far. So
yeah,
I didn't get the highest on cable.
On cable, yeah, on cable since 1998.
Taking a moment to talk about the Music City Grand Prix. I didn't get a chance to go to it, but I saw some of it. And when I was driving back from the lake this weekend, I did go past it. The energy there, I could tell it was huge. Just driving by the interstate. I mean, I could see the fans in the grandstands. I could hear the cars as I was passing by. Really kind of wish I was there looking back on it, but you know, it's what it is.
Yeah. But basically the
kind
point
of going back to NASCAR though, like I think this proves why, you know, I know the drivers are all for it and the teams are for it, but it proves why a 2-week break, just when it comes to ratings and marketing, is a flat out dumb idea, and it should be a last resort. Like even if they had to relegate it to CNBC or USA Network, I think they should have had only 1 week, if any, off. Well, hold on, it's had this problem for years. This problem has been going on, and I know they want a summer break, but it completely kills all momentum 3 weeks before the NFL season, which I know a lot of fans, who cares, I don't watch NFL. Well, a lot of people do. It's very bad leading into NASCAR's playoffs, and that's where, like, NASCAR, I think if they can figure out a way to have a break earlier in the year along with the Easter break, that'd be a better way to do it, so they don't kill the momentum in the summer when NASCAR is starting to pick up again. Sorry, I'm off my soapbox.
I think 2 weeks of 2 weeks of a break is fine, but not back to back. I would propose doing it the week after the Coke 600, and then perhaps sometime around now. That way, it's kind of like most of the summer you're racing, and the drivers and teams, they still get, you know, 2 weeks off to enjoy summer, but not back to back.
Yeah, like now that I look back on it, I mean, like I was like all for it at first, but now that I'm like seeing these numbers and stuff, and I've also noticed like some of the numbers on the YouTube side of things since we've gotten back are a little bit down and stuff, but I feel like that's because all of the momentum we had just like basically stopped. So now we have have to pretty much just pick that momentum back up pretty much.
Now we're into that weird spot. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, preseason NFL starts this weekend. So
yeah.
I mean, we're back into, you know, there's other bigger sports that we'll be competing against here soon. College football will be back before you know it. So there goes the Xfinity Series.
Right. So there's going to be a lot of stuff that NASCAR is going to have to go up against again. So yeah.
It's
tough. Saying if we had a 32 race schedule, we wouldn't have to worry.
We wouldn't have these problems.
Weekend,
we wouldn't have these problems, man. We just shorten that. We just need to shorten up the schedule a little bit.
But hey, I don't like racing if I want 4 less races in the year for a ratings part.
No, Jared, you're not a real fan. Remember, you're not a real fan anymore because you don't want 40 races a year and all that stuff.
A race every day, 365. No, I think.
Hey, like the good old days, right? When they had like 60 races, right? Let's go back to that, right?
I think what really killed this weekend was NBC poured all their marketing budget into the Music City Grand Prix. I think it's really what it was.
Yeah.
And it paid off. It paid off too. I mean, for IndyCar, of course. I mean,
I'll be real. As a NASCAR fan, I don't really care if IndyCar does well or not. Well, the NASCAR side of me.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm glad IndyCar did well. I think it's important to note from NBC's standpoint that the highest rated IndyCar race on cable in 20 years still got 1 million less viewers than a bad Cup Series race on cable.
That is true.
So like, I'm like, are they chasing numbers in the right place? I don't know. Obviously, I'm glad the Music City Grand Prix seems to have been a success, at least this inaugural run. Kind of a sloppy race at times, but it seems to have been a success from a attendance and rating standpoint. But yeah, I think that's really what it was. As
a guy from Middle Tennessee, I'm happy that the Music City Grand Prix did as well as it did, because that just means more motorsports where I live. So.
Yeah, as far as NASCAR is concerned, though, like either shorten up the schedule to where you don't have this long of a break, or separate, the break where it's not back to back. It's 1 week and then have a couple races here and there, and then the next week that's the second break, maybe. So we'll see what happens with it.
We shall see. Well, before we move on completely from Watkins Glen, lastly, let's take a look at what is it, Darian? The famous
the famous iceberg pole. It's back. It's back for the first time, and it feels like forever.
Almost a
I don't
month, quite
Yeah,
literally.
pretty
Jarrett, do
It's
you
only
have the
been
poll up
3
in front of you?
weeks.
Yeah. Let me make sure. I'm gonna update just so it's not different than when I looked at it last,
Well,
and it's good to go.
I'm gonna show. This is what it was about an hour ago. So hopefully the numbers haven't changed too much.
So 23% of viewers thought it was great. 56 said good. So 79% net approval. That's good. 16% said it was average, and then 3% each for below average and bad. Means 6% of you did not really like this one. Is that the same one?
Yeah,
Is that the
that's
same
what it
one we
looks
got?
like. Yeah.
All right, cool. So kind of
I
looking at the
voted
comments.
great,
I did too.
as they can see on their screen.
Well, I think I said good only because I only just heard about it. I didn't really see it, so I said good.
One thing too, it did not break a record. So Darian, before you ask it,
We were. I knew that. We were on the.
Yeah.
We were on an off week.
He
for a
didn't want to
while.
set you up for
Yeah.
failure.
No, no one's gonna do that.
So let's. Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna make sure. All right. Good. Okay.
How
that
bad
can
are the
read it.
comments?
How bad?
The top comment on my screen is from LD Giggles Fan 22, and it's Joey Logano laughing as a profile pic.
Oh god.
That's
Oh,
nice.
is that one where he's like on the FaceTime call or something like that?
Yeah.
That's such a good image.
And it says POV Hendrick fans, 15 laps in. This race is so boring. Race finish. Great race. So much awesome racing.
But-
Fair weather.
Listen,
fans.
I like this race a lot. Like
Mhm.
I thought it could build up to race of the year moment, and then I probably made an age NASCAR moment there on that one. But I still thought it was a really good race.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand people not liking it that much, but like that's so true about Hendrick fans.
yeah, they're like, hey, as long as our guys are up front, it's an awesome race.
Logano is so low budget. I see that in the chat. What does that even mean?
basically. So low budget. What's that?
What does that
I don't know what that
even
means, bro. What's that mean?
Mr.
Explain it for us.
Mr. NASCAR JG24 said Ty Gibbs. There's so many ties. Ty Gibbs, after the podcast, doubted him again. How many times do I have to teach you guys this lesson?
That's true.
That
None of
is
us picked him
true.
last week.
We didn't.
The one week that was like the first time none of us picked him in a race he was in. To be fair.
Well, to be fair, we either picked Cendric or AJ, and they were
right
like in
there.
the top three. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were up there, so we weren't
Yeah.
too far off. But yeah, Ty Gibbs, he's on a different level.
Elliot95 says we missed a whole lap because they showed Bell spinning out 20 times. That is true. Like that's one thing.
We did. Yeah.
Hey, it was
They
dramatic.
yeah, but they kind of went. I will
Yeah.
admit, like NBC went overboard with that one.
Like,
That's-
look at the spin. Look at
It
the
gave
spin
me a lot of
again.
PTSD. That looked like a Matt Kenseth Dollar General 20 car out there. So every time it got dumped, I was like, oh, is this Phoenix 2016? No. Is this Kansas 2015?
Speaking of spins, I remember I was having lunch after fishing, and I was watching it live, and I was like, huh, Brad Keselowski's doing good. It goes around.
Oh yeah, Keselowski, he spun out 3 times. He had brake issues, basically, man. he
Missile.
was a mess.
Yeah, he was not too good.
It's like
Uh,
I'm leaving Penske, so why should I care?
But Dylan Bernier here says that another fantastic Watkins Glen race, best road course on the calendar. I don't know. Would you guys agree?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love Watkins Glen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
I like the new Sonoma layout. Kidding. even though it was a good race this
It's
past.
fine. Yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Compare to
Daniel-
Watkins Glen, though.
Daniel Lowry says Larson is the new Lewis Hamilton. I won't go that far.
Whoa,
yet.
whoa. Oh,
I won't go that far yet.
We're not going to go that far. Wait a minute.
He's very good.
Let's get one championship to start, and then
Dude, Lewis got 7, and he's he's about to surpass 100 career F1 wins, too. So let's relax really quick.
Let's see. There's a lot of them just about Larson. Lots and lots of Larson. Lots of
Larson. Elliott. Mickey Elliott.
Larson.
Aurora KS53 said Penske fans voted the race below average.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah, because Keselowski ran into his teammate, too.
No,
That's
yeah.
right.
Brad spun, Joey spun, Blaney spun,
Damn,
and then the Benedetto was like 11th.
Logano, I
Yeah.
think, won stage 1, but they all finished outside the top 10 at the end of the race. So it went from to terrible. very quickly.
And in one of the spins, Keselowski made some severe contact with Logano entering turn 1.
he
So that might have
KO'd
done
it. It was
some-
almost poetic,
Yeah.
man. I was like, oh, well, good. If he's gonna wreck somebody, at least he wrecks
He's
another
like, hey,
company car.
I'm leaving. I'm out of here. So Leroy. Jenkins.
We've got someone in the chat literally called Team Penske fan saying, "I voted it bad. I am a Penske fan." So that confirms your theory.
Of course.
That word almost verbatim. Did you write that in there, Jarrett? Anyway, well, what's the final comment, Jarrett? Do we have a good a humdinger towards the bottom there?
Oh God.
It is from user Beautiful Angel Blossom. Is that positive or negative?
Oh,
Negative.
that sounds so positive. What is it?
Negative.
Angel Blossom? How can that be negative?
Beautiful Angel Blossom.
Gorgeous.
It's negative.
Very positive.
Negative, bro.
It's negative.
It's negative, bro.
Let's see what the chat says immediately. First thing, negative. Yeah, they're all negative.
Mm-hmm. Immediately.
Can't have that good of a name and not have a negative comment.
All right. This is the whole comment.
Oh no.
Okay.
Whole comment right here. It was bad because of the finish.
Angel Blossom, you've let me down.
I knew it. Oh no.
Yeah,
So,
well.
Beautiful Angel Blossom. Guarantee that's a woman who's a Chase Elliott fan.
Hey, Elliott did his best to try and make it more exciting, but I mean,
Yeah, he
when
was
you
the
come from
show.
the back, when you come
My
from the
respect
back,
for Elliott went up during this race, so I think that's still a good day.
Danny, is that Claudia's burner account? I kid because I care.
That's funny. Well,
funny.
that's
But
gonna do
yeah.
it. We've recapped the Cup Series race. Watkins Glen's great. Happy to see it return in a big, glorious way. We've got a couple other races to hit on real quick as well before we talk about some other news. And we still have, I don't even think I've mentioned it yet in the episode. It was all over the thumbnail and in the title, but we have an interview with Carson Hocevar that we recorded yesterday. Truck Series playoff driver. We're going to get to that very soon as well. But first, you mentioned it earlier, or one of the comments from the poll mentioned it. But yes, Ty Gibbs won the Xfinity Series race. Third Xfinity win in his first 10 starts. He's on fire. 8 top 5s in these first 10 starts. He's incredible. He had to beat maybe two of the best road course racers in NASCAR, period. AJ Allmendinger and Austin Cindric. And what impressed me the most about Ty Gibbs was 1 week after, he ran over Corey Heim in the ARCA race, and a few weeks after he called out Allmendinger, which didn't seem very reasonable. He ran an incredibly patient race at Watkins Glen. He had many moments where he could have sent it in there, taken a risk, and he really didn't. Even when he lost the lead on those late race restarts, he battled them back fair and square and just had a really good car. And he's obviously an incredibly talented driver, and he got it done. He beat Austin Cindric and AJ Allmendinger straight up on multiple occasions. So, I mean, he's got to be the most exciting teenager in stock car racing right now. What do you guys make of Ty Gibbs winning yet again?
you can make that. Okay.
Ty Gibbs equals really good.
You can even make the argument he's the most exciting teenager in all of motorsports. It seems like the most competitive, man. I mean, the last time I've seen a kid like this young just do this good right away, immediately Kyle Busch comes to mind. I know like some are saying, oh, Joey Logano too, and yeah, that is true. But I just like the KFB comparisons because the whole Joe Gibbs affiliation and all that stuff. But I mean, Ty Gibbs, man, just you put him anywhere in that Joe Gibbs car, man, and he's just flying, man.
It's good to see Monster Energy back on his car too. I don't know what.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Deal
Yeah,
was where they've been, but they were back, and they were also on Herp's car this weekend. So it wasn't like, oh, we're Herp, so we can't be on your car. No, that don't matter.
Yeah, but yeah, overall, amazing run by Ty Gibbs, and I can't wait to see him full time. And I thought last week there was going to be some type of full time announcement, but it was just a sponsor announcement deal. So they got us good. They got us really good there.
I know we was kind of like saying like, oh, he's going to go to 20. Honestly, since you don't have Kyle Busch next year, I kind of say let him keep the 54. It kind of fits him.
Yeah. At this point, why not?
Yeah, I gotta say, like, the thing that impresses me most about Ty Gibbs is more just the versatility, whether it's situation, track, conditions, whatever it may be. And the fact that he dueled AJ Allmendinger and Austin Cindric, who I think we can say are the two best full-time road course racers in the Xfinity Series. I mean, some can put them right up there with like Chase Elliott when it comes to NASCAR in general.
And they're in probably equally the best cars aside from the 54 car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he went out there and he didn't, it wasn't a strategy win. He just came out there and just beat him. He moved Cindric out of the way.
He him.
Off AJ Allmendinger.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that shouldn't be overlooked. I know he's in a Gibbs car. And I hate having to always have to like say that, before or after saying anything about him. But I mean, he's making the best out of good equipment. I mean, there are plenty of drivers in that field, and we have seen through the years who have been in good equipment and done nothing with it or are doing nothing with it. And it's at the point where you see what Ty Gibbs is doing. You got to appreciate it. But, he might, who knows? He might jump up to Cup one day and lay an egg. But right now, it doesn't look like there's anything saying he would.
It looks like right now the sky's the limit for that kid right now.
It's impressive. And it should be, it should be appreciated.
Yeah. He's obviously in a really good car. That 54 has won numerous times with several drivers behind the wheel, but it's still at the end of the day a JGR car. And what I find remarkable, just off the top of my head, in just 10 starts, Ty Gibbs now has more wins than Riley Herbst, Daniel Hemrick, Noah Gregson, any of these guys have for their entire careers. I'm sure I could mention there's probably a few others if I give me a second to think about it. The sky, like you said, is the limit for him, Darian. And what I was really excited about this weekend was the patience he showed. He could have absolutely sent Allmendinger or Cindric at any point. And, he nudged Cindric a little bit, who then threw some aggressive blocks at him. I thought that was all fair game. I was impressed by how patient he was. And I think it's because he knew he had the best car. I hope we see more of that kind of racing from him going forward.
To put it in perspective of more numbers, in now 10 starts, he has as many wins as Tyler Reddick did when he won his first Xfinity championship.
There you go.
And also one thing I like too is, Ty Gibbs, he's not afraid to play both sides. What I mean by that is he'll give you the bumper or he'll pass you cleanly. Either way, he's still gonna get right by you. Either way, pretty much.
He's always got you right where he wants you.
So Ty Gibbs, giving you the bumper on Saturday and then praising the Lord on Sunday.
Lord,
he's religious. He's religious.
Lord, I ask you to. Lord, I ask you to bless this man for what I am about to do to him.
Turn him straight into the wall.
Trust me, man. I follow him on Twitter. I know he's religious.
Yeah, but you know what though? I can't wait to see Ty Gibbs progress more and more. He's very exciting to watch. So we'll see what happens. But I just had to say that though. I think it's funny.
What did you say? Wreck on Saturday?
No. Giving you the bumper on Saturday.
Giving you the Lord on Sunday.
Giving you the Lord on Sunday. There you go. It's even better. So. Shout out to Ty Gibbs.
That's a funny one. He needs to get that on a T-shirt. I don't think he would do it, but somebody needs to get his ear. It was an exciting race. Some interesting moments. One moment a lot of people noted was when Kyle Weatherman got out of his car on the track while it was still green because there was an electrical fire, I guess, on the dash. But still, very sketchy situation for a moment there.
You would have thought the way he got out of there, the fire was like engulfing the car.
Insulting his mother or something like. No. Just couldn't take it anymore.
I never saw the fire, but I don't doubt it was there. If it looked, I honestly thought that he saw a snake or something in the car.
Yeah, like he saw a cougar in the car or something like that because he jumped out in front of traffic.
He got out, jumped, didn't even have the car parked essentially.
Yeah.
And then he was pointing at the safety crew, like, look in there.
And not only that, Danny, he was he stopped the car and got out in the middle of the fastest section of the freaking track while the car was backing up. They
weren't even at caution yet. They were green.
Yeah, I was like, what is going on? But I mean, obviously, electrical fires, though, and Clint Boyer had the same problem back in Sonoma of 2016. I think it was either during the race or practice. It started choking him and stuff like that. So, yeah, as soon as that happens, these drivers, they immediately, start booking it and stuff. But yeah, it didn't look good on TV though. It was like he gets out, the car's not even parked, and he's like, I thought he was about to run across the freaking track. What is he doing?
Imagine how much more south that could have went though. Like if the car was still rolling, he gets out, just starts going tumbling or something like that.
Oh my God. Just ejects himself out of the window.
During green flag action too, and
debris on the track. It's a guy.
It's a person. Obviously, he explained the situation on Twitter and stuff, but hopefully we don't have a situation like that again. I mean, that is potentially very dangerous. I know he's getting out of the car for a reason.
I'm sorry, but when you hear that, oh my God, it's a guy from SpongeBob. Somebody seriously make that edit and tag us on Twitter. Be like,
okay,
it's like, holy fish sticks, it's a guy.
Hey, I think I like Nick Sheeter's idea here. The car was lava. He had to get out.
Hey, he won the floor is lava game if that's the case. Well, glad he's okay, but definitely raised some eyebrows. A couple other notable finishers from this weekend. Sam Mayer, our boy, finished 10th, so a solid top 10 for him.
His first career Xfinity top 10.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Good for him. Good for him. There you go, Sam.
Brandon Brown trying to sneak into the playoffs, finished 12th, and Josh Williams, another one of our boys got a top 15 finish. So if we look at the Xfinity Series playoff cut line they still have 6 races to go with. This is that part of the year where it gets wonky with. There's 3 races left till the Cup playoffs, 6 until the Xfinity playoffs. Meanwhile, the truck playoffs are about to start. So anyway, Brandon Jones plus 74 is 10th. Jeremy Clements still plus 40 is 11th. And then Michael Annett plus 30 is the last guy in, despite having to miss. Did he miss 2 races? I think.
Wait. Hold up.
He missed 2 races.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me Michael Annett misses 2 races and he's still
don't say it.
Just read the rest of the playoffs. I don't have to say anything. Just read the rest. I don't have to say anything. Read the rest.
Well, in 13th, behind, yes, Michael Annett, the guy who's missed 2 races, 30 points out is Riley Herbst. Darian.
What in the heck?
Oh no. The chat was ready for it too. Brandon Brown, like I just mentioned, is 14th. He's minus 45, still within striking
Only
distance.
15 points back. He could pass him.
He's got a shot. Last year, Brandon Brown made the playoffs, right? So he's got experience. He can get it done. But yes, the Xfinity playoffs shaping up as well. And then real quick, let's talk about the truck race. Austin Hill wins it. I kind of forgot the truck race happened this week. It was weather shortened, I guess. But Austin Hill gets the win. Good for him. And the Truck Series playoff field is set. So we've got, I'll read them off really quick. John Hunter
10
Nemechek,
drivers.
10. John Hunter Nemechek, Sheldon Creed, Matt Crafton, Chandler Smith, Zane Smith, Austin Hill, Ben Rhodes, Todd Gilliland, Stuart Friesen, and we'll talk to him shortly, Carson Hocevar are your playoff drivers. But some important playoff points being collected by Austin Hill. Any big takeaways from the Truck Series race? It was pretty chaotic, especially at the start.
Yeah, it was a very chaotic start, and the Truck Series racing at the Glen was awesome. First time since 2000. Greg Biffle won the last race, so wow, that big of a gap. But I was really disappointed to see, like obviously he's had some bad luck and stuff like that, but I did think Derek Kraus was going to have a much more solid year than he did, but unfortunately didn't happen. But we'll see what he does next year and for the rest of the season. Now, as far as the playoffs are,
he cost me $20 on DraftKings.
Oh dang, that's
I looked at it. If he would have finished where he did, I would have had like $40 on DraftKings this week.
Oh dang it!
Thanks, Derek.
But back to the playoff situation though. I mean, you see this playoff list and you automatically assume, well, John Hunter Nemechek, he'll be the favorite, right? You know, but I mean, obviously this is the playoffs though. You know what I mean? Like, so some crazy things happen. You know, some dark horses. You know. From the younger guys, Zane Smith, who hasn't really done much all season, he could all of a sudden come out of nowhere. You also have Carson Hocevar, who we'll talk to later on in the show, Chandler Smith, but also the defending Truck Series champion Sheldon Creed. He's been kind of quiet this year, but I think he'll definitely pick it up come playoff time though. So
well, and one big thing too, as the NASCAR Weekly Podcast cricket goes on in the background. One other big thing too is I think they showed that with the win that Austin Hill got, it jumped him from like 5th to 2nd on the playoff grid or something like that.
Wow.
Like that could be big, you know, in a couple weeks, like round or 2. You know, I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, 7 races to go in the Truck Series season. Very exciting stuff. Again, we'll talk to Carson Hocevar shortly. But before we get to the lightning round and the mailbag question, we had a pretty exciting trailer drop earlier today. Not for us. It sounded like we had a trailer to release. Like, oh,
we had the NASCAR Weekly Podcast trailer, dude.
The musical.
You can buy the NWP video game. You can be Eric filming out of the groove.
This is NASCAR Weekly Podcast, the musical. We're all in this together. No, I'm kidding.
I quit if that's it.
That's it. That's my contract is up.
That's my line.
But anyways, Eric, there was a trailer. What kind of trailer was there?
So a lot of fans, and I know the 4 of us have been or at least 3 of us. I don't know about Jared. He's kind of I don't know about Jared if he's that excited for it. But I know at least 3 of us have been eagerly.
He's a boomer who doesn't play video games.
When was the last NASCAR game you bought, Jared? It's been a few years. Oh, Heat 4. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
it's been more recent than I thought. Either way,
unfortunately,
we've all been highly anticipating, and I know many of you watching have been anticipating the NASCAR 21 video game release date announcement. First looks at like trailers and stuff. They've been coy and showing us just some screenshots for a few weeks now, but today they released a 1-minute trailer. The game will be available for pre-order, I believe, starting tomorrow, and it will be released on October 28th, just in time for the holidays and just in time for my birthday. Wink, wink, y'all. Wink, wink.
Oh, nice.
And your birthday too, Jared. Yeah, so we'll have to
Just in time for Claudia and I's anniversary. Wink, wink.
re-gift each other NASCAR. Well, it's called NASCAR 21 Ignite or Ignition. What's it called?
Ignition.
NASCAR 21 Ignition. It'll be available on PS4, Xbox One, and on Steam.
Your cover athletes are Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, and Bubba Wallace.
That's a perfect cover in my opinion.
I think it makes sense.
You have you have young drivers, and you have one of each manufacturer.
All three. That's right.
Yep, well represented. I'm actually showing on screen right now for those watching. It's basically the trailer, so you can get some good looks at actual cars on the racetrack, some views of crew members pushing the cars, an iPad. I guess I don't know what that was.
The pushing the cars is what stands out to me because that feels like straight out of F1.
Well, I was looking at some of the details that they had in the article I was reading, and they are really hell bent on like making they're very hell bent on trying to bring the entire weekend experience at a NASCAR race that teams typically go through. That's the vibe I get from this trailer.
And also these neon pit signs, that's the little things that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, so from a detail standpoint, from a graphics standpoint, the game looks very promising, but it is not perfect though. Some of the flaws I've seen already, no private lobbies. I don't know how that's going to work.
So,
I've
seen weird things about that because like some people are saying that there's no private lobbies, others are saying that it's a wait and see thing. Like, what is the what I want to know is what the exact report is, because I've seen like some people be like, like some articles being retracted about that, and I don't know what to say about that.
To
I
be
don't
honest,
want to judge that.
I don't think that's not even been announced at this point. From what I understand.
Yeah.
So I
if
guess
that is the case, it's bad.
So I guess I could better phrase it by saying like there's this new matchmaking lobby thing that they're gonna add. I don't know how.
Which I do like the idea.
But
It sounds like you go in and be like, do you want to do super speedways and stuff, or do you want to do like short tracks? And then it'll put you in random races with other people. I like having that as an option, but I do hope that you still have the ability to host a private lobby with just your friends or whoever. Leagues,
because the trolls in these games, they're terrible.
Sure,
and they sometimes ruin the game entirely for some people who are trying to get into NASCAR for the first time. So you need to definitely put a head on that. But another thing too is unfortunately no Xfinity and trucks, but I mean this is the first game with a new company.
I'd rather not have that if it means that they can perfect the gameplay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that. Get the physics right, the gameplay right. Because with this specific engine, I know I have said some pretty positive things, but there are some flaws with it too, unfortunately. Like this engine has been used before in prior NASCAR titles, specifically NASCAR 09. And one of the problems it had was like the AI, like, yes, they would race, but like they would just race in packs. They wouldn't move and stuff. You would have one pack on the outside, on the inside and stuff. So I just hope that they're able to make sure that the AI are still able to race you, and give you somewhat of a challenge. But yeah, I mean, the trailer looks very promising, and it's definitely a step up from the Heat games, which I mean wasn't really too hard to do in the first place.
So our friend IDK Player sent me a screenshot of the original article, and this is what I believe. I don't know, was it like Traxxon or something that had put it out?
Traxxon, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Said the shake and bake multiplayer hopper features intermediate and super speedways. The bump and run hopper will take lobbies to short tracks and road courses. Partying up is an option to bring friends along the way, but there are no private lobbies, which has since been changed to more multiplayer news coming soon.
Okay.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
Good. I like to hear that.
So that sounds like it come out. And
our boy Rusty, he's on top of things, man. He's like, gotta make sure.
Hey, we gotta have these private lobbies, bro.
He's like, gotta make sure that people know what's going on. Yeah.
That probably was a Rusty who caught that. They probably, and maybe it's not. Maybe it just hasn't been announced yet. I don't know, but maybe it's at the point that they shouldn't put that out there if it's not confirmed yet.
Yeah. No, they've been very careful about what they put out there. Go ahead, Jarrett.
The things for me that are important, I don't care about the soundtrack. I don't care about the graphics. I don't care.
I do care about the graphics. I'm glad they look good.
I'm glad they look good, but it's not a make or break deal for me. Like, I don't care about the esports section. What I care about is career mode AI, what I can do online with my friends, stuff like that. The racing overall, the physics, things like that. The basics. Physics. Yeah. That's a meme that a lot of people might not know. But if I mean the crash physics from the brief parts they showed, and I guess they probably weren't using damage at that point, or the damage model's not completely complete. But the crash physics didn't seem that off. The thing that concerns me is just the way the AI kind of races at different tracks. Like when I saw like a part where the AI raced on the high side at Martinsville, I think it was,
and Las Vegas too. Like they do not take the high side on the straightaway at all.
No issues passing you.
Yeah,
like I love Martinsville. Like that's one you got to have them on the bottom for that one. So and I think this is like bless you the same kind of like what was it? A similarity between this and NASCAR 09, I think, Darian.
Yes.
Yeah. So
they
it's like,
run a similar engine. Yes.
Yeah. So it's like that's something that needs to be fixed beforehand. Again, it's only a hype trailer. Like you can't really get too much really out of it about the racing itself. Like I want to see gameplay before I judge. Like I'm gonna be real. I'm not gonna buy this before my birthday. Like that's just I'm not gonna. Like I'm gonna wait and see because I'm not. I mean, it's like what $60 with one of them, and then like or the normal copy, and then $90.
90,
for like the special.
yeah. So
like,
I'm just gonna.
I'm not
wait
spending
and
$90.
see.
I'm like, sorry, Bill Elliott, you're not worth that to me. On a game.
Some of these tracks I see, it looks like there's fun racing going on, and some of it looks like they are just identically right behind each other. So
yeah.
I mean, again, this is a hype trailer, so you can only take so much out of it. I do like though, the soundtrack does have some potential. There was some Black Sabbath. I think. Did I say them right? Did I say that name right?
Black Sabbath?
They have Black Sabbath in this game?
I could have sworn I saw it.
Wait, Darian, are you saying it's Black Sabbath?
Black Sabbath. I could have sworn I saw that, and then
if that's the case, that's pretty cool.
There were some other notable artists.
They had Leonard Skinner, Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Wow.
Imagine Dragons.
So this is a legit soundtrack.
It has to be good Imagine Dragons. It can't be like the poppy crap that they put out. It has to be before they completely sold out.
Oh boy.
Can't stop the friction. I love that. I only love that song because it's in 2K17. That's it.
You get okay, that one's not as bad. I'm talking like the crappy like Believer album or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And if they're gonna put Leonard Skinner, for the love of God, don't put Sweet Home Alabama. Please put Saturday Night Special. Saturday Night Special for the short track races. Come on, man. That would be perfect.
Please don't play Sweet Home Alabama. The memes, bro. The memes.
I have heard Sweet Home Alabama so many times about anything having to do with Talladega. Please pick another Leonard Skinner song. Tuesday's gone. I don't care.
Also remember, Sweet Home Alabama was the only licensed song in NASCAR Thunder 2002. It was on repeat. So you had to go back to the settings to basically turn it off.
Give me 3 steps. That's another good one. I'm telling you, Saturday Night Special, and play it right as you're going into like Richmond, Bristol,
hey, I gotta say,
Martinsville night race.
Not enough people talk about this, but I think it was NASCAR 2011. You fire that thing up, loading screen comes up, and you hear
ZZ Top.
That's what I was sitting there thinking about. That is kind of iconic right there. I made so many paint schemes jamming out there.
Well, and then like they even had a Hailstorm song one of those years. So like get some like I like that they have some like pretty good bands that we know of, but I hope they have some other ones that are starting to come up too, the way that like Hailstorm was in 2012. Like, I mean, I like the soundtrack. So like even if I get the game, and even if it's complete trash, I will enjoy listening to the soundtrack. Like I'm positive at times. Come on.
I'm just enthusiastic. I didn't realize they were using real popular songs in this game again,
and not freaking random indie.
I just remember like a year ago or a couple of years ago when Heat 4, Heat 5 was coming out, they literally put out on Twitter, "Hey, we're looking for recommendations for like really unknown, obscure, cheap artists we could put in the game." Like they weren't even shy about it. They're like, "Yeah, we can't afford. We're not going to pay for like licensing."
We can't afford the licensing and all, but now the budget's a little bit different.
Yeah, I like that. That's exciting. That's cool.
That's good.
And then I'm on their website for the game. New paint booth, brand new paint booth offers an unrivaled level of customization, allowing you to create your own NASCAR Cup Series paint scheme, complete with your own iconic race number. The picture here on the site, Eric, I don't know if you can pull this up. It's in like the home screen of NASCAR.
I don't think I won't be able to easily, unfortunately.
Okay, well, either way, there is a. Oh yeah, no, you can't screen share. My bad. But there's a picture of looks like a blue car, bunch of yellow dots on it, and then like the number literally says pop I don't know. It's kind of weird what they have going on here.
Well, I'm excited for a more fully realized paint booth option for this next game. I know that's something a lot of people are excited about. Something even just a little more that gives you a little more freedom than the current NASCAR Heat ones. That'll be exciting. But once again,
if you want to get everything, I'm just reading this here too. The Champions Edition sounds like you get everything. The pre-order bonus gets you the Traxion, the paint scheme that was on the 78 car, I think, like that.
Yeah.
Plus you get 2 days early access. Bill Elliott playable character and paint schemes, in-game career booster, DLC number 1+ legendary driver, and it's like 3 DLC. So every DLC they're putting out, there's going to be a legendary driver added. So who knows who those will be? But obviously Bill Elliott is the first champion that they're going to be putting into it.
Hey Rusty, if you're watching this, tell your boys at the shop to get Matt Kenseth in the game, baby.
Hey, get Dale Jr.'s red number 8 in the game.
Yes,
Get
yeah.
his.
When I say Kenseth,
Nothing possibly can go wrong. There.
not Chip Ganassi Matt Kenseth. No, I need like Roush or early Gibbs Matt Kenseth.
Yeah, not bad seasons, Matt Kenseth. No.
This is just interesting. I'm looking at some of the screenshots here, and the Bill Elliott Champions Edition actually has the Melling name on it. The Melling.
Oh,
I'm actually in the middle of writing Melling Racing Rise and Fall, actually.
Sweet. Well, that's a good, smooth transition there. Good plug, Danny.
Nice.
Well, it sounds exciting. Well, again, for those curious, the game comes out on October 28th, but you can pre-order it as soon as tomorrow. They're not paying us to say that, but I just know you guys want to probably know where you can access the game potentially. So yeah, excited for NASCAR 21 Ignition. At least excited to see more. Now, next up, we have a mailbag question. This week, our mailbag question comes from Caden. So thank you, Caden. Jared, I believe, is busy typing in the email address into the chat right now.
Yes, I am.
Yes, so you guys will know where to send your mailbag questions. But Caden's question is, if the Pinty's series replaced ARCA but didn't completely move to America, would it be a better series? There are some drivers I like in the Pinty series, and I believe that the series is fun to watch.
It is fun. It is fun to watch.
They just started their season like a couple weeks ago, right? I saw Lassard. I think he won both. Did he win both? They did like a double header, and I know I didn't see the replay, but I heard he got into it with some folks, but I think he won both races.
Yeah, Lassard, that doesn't surprise me. Like Lassard, he was highly touted in trucks, but the funding wasn't there, unfortunately. So I'd say I mean, if they got rid of ARCA and just focused on the Pinty series, I feel like if you get rid of ARCA, wouldn't you have to bring the Pinty series to some state races?
Oh, you'd
right?
have to.
I think that's what they're saying.
Okay. Then I'd be cool with that.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I just don't know the difference in finances.
Yeah,
Pinty's cars are different than the ARCA cars. They're a little bit different.
Yeah.
I don't know how different, but I know they're a little bit different.
I think
I still say the best move for ARCA is just make it a light model series and just open up your field a lot more then. But that's just me.
I think that the way that Pinty's gets added in more with NASCAR, like Cup Series, the NASCAR ladder, I think it would have to be when NASCAR starts for real going full on into international racing. I think that's the only way you really can really add it in as part of the ladder. Like if there's 3 or 4, Canadian race weekends a year, like top 3 series are all up there. But at the moment, I think fixing ARCA is probably the best because Pinty's is kind of on an island of its own right now. But I mean, the Pinty's races I've watched are pretty awesome, and the cars look badass. It's like a perfect mix of Gen 6 and Twisted Sister.
Yeah, that is kind of what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to see it get more prominence, but I think that there needs to be a lot of change overall in NASCAR for that to happen right now.
Yeah, it would take a lot for them to get rid of ARCA and to make that like the ARCA series, I guess. But.
Meanwhile, does the Mexico series still exist?
Yeah, it still exists.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we never.
Yeah, we never hear anything about it, but like Pinty's, there's always so many exciting moments and stuff.
In terms of the NASCAR International Series, I think it goes Pinty's, Europe, and then Mexico. You just don't never hear about them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, either way, I think whatever creates more competitive fields in ARCA is what I root for, or Pinty's. Whichever series can consistently put together competitive fields with good and attract good, talented race car drivers, and that's what I want to see become, a step on the NASCAR development ladder. But thank you so much for the mailbag question, Caden. I saw Jarrett put it in the chat earlier, but the email again is weeklypodcastguest@gmail.com. So if you send your question to that email, we might read it in a future upcoming episode. So be sure to take advantage of that. Now, before we get into the lightning round, we have to thank our sponsor this week, as always, Lionel Racing, proud sponsor of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast and the Isle of Groove Podcast Network. They're the official diecast of NASCAR. We're in the middle of 2021, so you can order your favorite driver's 2021 diecast at lionelracing.com or at an authorized Lionel retailer. And be sure not to miss any the latest NASCAR Authentics wave at your local Walmart, your local Target. Be sure to check them out. So a huge thank you to Lionel for sponsoring this podcast. I see you all have your diecast cars on display. Where's mine? Hold on, here we go. I've got mine that lights up.
I have never seen the one that Jared is holding before.
Yeah, that surprised me earlier when he got in the chat. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool looking.
You want me to just go into mine first?
You lead us off.
Yeah.
All right. So I think they still do this for big wins, but this one is a Dale Jr. first Hendrick Motorsports win. It was 2008 at Michigan. You see, there's old Dale before his Junebug. Got his autograph. There's pictures of the team celebrating on the side of the car. Junior celebrating here. I think right here is just him going past the finish line. Same stuff on the other side. And then there's like picture of him in victory lane. And it's hard to see on the camera, but Mr. H giving a high five. They used to do these. I don't know how many they do these for now because I don't have a favorite driver.
Is that like the winner's circle style, or is that got old detail? I can't tell.
I mean, like you can't open up the back, but the hood opens up and stuff, and it's like plastic, right? It's definitely like a little lower on it, but
so kind of like a hybrid, really.
Yeah. But it's something really cool. It has all the primary sponsors on it, and like just a lot of other cool stuff. Has the date, has his autograph. Well, not really his like normal corporatized autograph.
Yeah. So it's a fake.
Yeah, it's a fake. Yeah. It's a fake.
I'll get him. I'll get
He's
the rear
a fraud. Window. What do you have there? What do you have there, Darian? You got a 164 scale.
Derek Cope, bro. 1991. Ooh. Derek Cope when he drove for the Wickham Racing Team, and then they quickly shut down a year later.
Won the Daytona 500.
Yeah, they won the Daytona 500 accidentally, but they still won the Daytona 500 though. But yeah, Derek Cope. I got this at one of the tent vendors at Road America for $1, just $1. So these are the types of finds you can find at the tent.
Imagine winning the Daytona 500 X game, and then one day your car's worth $1 for a fan.
Yeah. No.
In the packaging too. Oh gosh.
In the packaging and stuff.
I love yours, Danny. Is that even signed?
Yes, I got that signed. That was signed at Talladega in 2018, I think, or no, 2017. It was signed in 2017. This is the 2008 Jimmy Johnson car. It is appropriate to bring this out as we are going to Indianapolis. Although it was on the oval configuration, he got 4 wins at Indianapolis, so very appropriate. Plus, I'm a fan of the 48 driver currently, so appropriate to bring that one out. And plus, I just forgot to bring one, so I told Claudia to bring me a random one. She did a good job.
Just bring one.
Well, I've got the light up Bristol All-Star Race win from last year for Chase Elliott. I figured this was fitting as he didn't win this past weekend, but he was kind of like he was the driver of the day. If we're going to use Formula One references,
the driver of the day.
Very exciting.
And because that's the all-star car, like after a drive like that, you look and said, "Hey, now you're an all-star."
That verbatim took the words right out of my mouth, Danny. So thought this one looked cool. But wow, a really diverse collection this week. But again, a huge thank you to Lionel Racing for sponsoring the show. We love talking about diecast. Who doesn't love collecting diecast? So be sure to check them out. Their website link is down in the description. Boys, my front door, I swear, just blew open. I heard the wind or something howling outside. I think it's time for go, Darian. What is it?
Lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast.
Justice, he got electrocuted. Wow, that was a good time. Stay down, Danny. Oh my gosh, it's raining.
Stay down. No. We're dead. Oh man, Jared, what do we have on tap for tonight in the lightning round?
Oh, we got a little bit. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, so I'm probably gonna butcher it. Swiss NASCAR Euro driver, is it Giorgio?
Oh, Magi? I don't know how to. Giorgio
Magi. Probably. I don't know. That's a good guess.
GM is set to make his Xfinity debut at the Indy Road Course.
Good save.
So that will be
cool.
that'll be pretty cool. NASCAR put the 1986 Watkins Glen race on YouTube, and it's in amazing quality for a race that is, I believe, over 30 years old.
It's really good. It's really good.
Like, I turned it on, and I was like, man, like, I've seen them put up races from the mid-2000s that look worse than this.
Tim Richmond won that race, correct?
I think so. I think so. Lawless Allen will drive for Nice for multiple races this season.
Such a great race car driver. Isn't
I
it?
know.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's
I
perfect.
love it. That's why I had to include that.
He would have fit perfectly back in the moonshine days. Would have fit perfectly.
NASCAR will return to Nashville for November 30th through December 2nd for the awards banquet per a Sternbaum. I almost said Slernbaum.
Slurn, the parody account.
You can believe that I'll be there for everything I can be there for.
Nice.
I may be there. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet.
You know, there's always a guest room here for you.
Thank you. Ty Gibbs is now going to be sponsored by Sports Clips. That doesn't mean he'll be in the 20, just he'll be sponsored by Sports Clips.
Fits his haircut.
Yeah.
This is an interesting one. And Darian, I want to ask, were you at the 2008 Las Vegas race?
No, but I would always go to the qualifying sessions. I was at the qualifying session at least.
All right. Well, the qualifying session that you were at for this race, the 2008 UAW Dodge Dealers 400 was Monday's Wikipedia article of the day. And can you tell me how many people were attending that race in the estimates?
Oh, dude.
You can even look it up on Wikipedia if you want. I'm going to now to double check.
I just want to take a guess just for fun. Okay, this was in 2008, okay, and they still had all their grandstands at the time. I'd say nearly like around 95,000, around that estimate.
Anyone else got any other estimates? Without looking?
112.
All right, Danny, what do you got? Have you looked yet, Danny?
He's looking it up. Just skip it. He's cheating.
All right, then I'm going to say it now. 153,000.
Million.
What? We had that many people? Vegas used to hold that many people? What in the world?
Honestly, I hadn't even found it yet. So
They had to ship him in, fly him in helicopters.
Wow.
I wasn't going to let Danny cheat.
Yeah, no, this is when we had all of our grandstands open back in the day. Damn, that was crazy. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Good
And now they have as many people that you can hear in the background.
Oh no, the cricket.
Oh, the cricket's back. First we
that's
had the
terrible.
podcast fly, and then we have the freaking cricket, man. Oh my god.
you're muted.
You're muted.
I actually have to mute myself and slam something to shut the cricket up, and it sometimes still doesn't work.
Oh, no.
Aw.
Like this is what it sounds like when I mute myself. Like I'm slamming part of my chair to shut that thing up. Finally, shut up. All right, let's
Thank you.
shut up, cricket. Freaking cricket. Anyway, yeah, cricket emojis in the chat. Let's go.
Yeah.
Do they make those?
You need this is if the cricket's going off, then that means whatever subject you're talking about is really boring.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
so
hate
the whole
Las
lighting
Vegas.
round's
Las
boring.
Vegas sucks.
Wow. The whole lighting round's boring now.
Instead of super chatting money, just give me some pesticide for this damn thing. Anyway, let's speak over the cricket.
You're good. You're good. Just go.
You're fine.
I feel so bad
Hey.
for our Spotify and iTunes listeners and audio
Okay.
listeners.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You can read the next thing, the one after that. Let me or someone else read that because I don't want to cricket over
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, definitely. Rayom Brothers, that's how you say it, right? Or
Rayom, I think.
I don't know.
Rayomi,
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, they'll be entering with another NASCAR Euro champion at Xfinity IMS this weekend. Loris Hezeman. Like, how do you say these names?
I don't know these names, bro. What are these names?
Is
know.
Europe even real? Like
How are they getting over here?
Dude, they're finding these drivers out of nowhere, bro.
Dude, is there like some form of transportation now that gets you across an ocean? This must be new.
Actually, no, Jared. What you just said with all the COVID stuff, how are they getting over here?
Oh, yeah. True. Yeah, Danny, read the next one.
Yeah,
Danny,
so Jared's muted because I don't want to cricket over this. Guys, sadly, we did lose Bob Jenkins this week. Sadly, at the age of 73 years old, born 1947. Sadly, passed away 2021. Obviously, great contributor to the motorsports media side of things, particularly on the IndyCar side of it. But may he forever rest in peace.
Yeah, and also he basically was one of the first ever ESPN employees back in the 80s when they were like saying, "Oh, ESPN, this channel is gonna fail, 24-hour sports network, blah blah blah," and he helped build up ESPN and NASCAR on ESPN from 1981 to 2000. So
Yeah.
a pioneer for sure.
No, absolutely a legend that everyone will dearly, dearly miss.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And props to ESPN for paying a tribute to him. I know
gonna
they're not
say,
involved in motorsports,
They did. I
but
noticed
they
that
did recognize
they
him.
did
That's
that.
good.
That was good of them.
That's nice of them. Thank you guys.
Okay, now Jarrett, if you want to come back.
Back to you.
This damn thing won't shut up.
You still having a problem with it?
Yeah, it won't shut. Jeez, like I wanted to add in the point that Eric, didn't you actually work with Bob Jenkins on a race, like an iRacing deal?
Yeah,
did.
no, it was an honor to get to have him be a part of the California Clash almost a year ago. He called an iRacing event with me, Alex Hayden, and the folks at Podium Esports. So that was really cool. So that video is still up on my channel, California Clash. If you want to hear some of Bob Jenkins's latest work, I guess I thought that was amazing that someone who's been doing it as long as he has was willing to step into something kind of new. Still motorsport, still calling action, but iRacing esports, a different, completely different animal, but dude was up for anything. He just loved racing, so that was
the great
really,
ones adapt.
really
The great
cool.
ones adapt to anything.
For
You
sure.
can commentate anything, man.
Absolutely.
You can commentate anything. So, R.I.P.
Really quick, I'm looking in the chat. D-Dog Dan said there's a stern bomb. I'm gonna double check that really quick.
You can double check. I'm gonna go and keep reading the lightning round so we can.
All right, let's see what we got. IndyCar is in advanced talks with NASCAR about a deal to restore the Iowa Speedway to the IndyCar schedule in 2022.
So that's just about IndyCar going back to Iowa?
But they're talking with NASCAR about
because
it.
they own it.
So,
don't they own Iowa?
Yeah,
so
they own it. So
I'm just saying it leaves a possibility there.
That's good. That's good. I like Indy cars at Iowa. It's pretty cool.
All right, one sec. I'm gonna read through the freaking cricket and then I'm gonna go kill it. Road America is set to be repaved after the 2022 season. The NASCAR All-Star Race will be returning to Texas in 2022, according to the website. Emails have been sent out to people who have tickets to Auto Club, and it's looking like they're going to return to the schedule February 25th to the 27th. And Max Pappas is returning to driving in NASCAR at Indy for SS Greenlight over Toby Christie.
I can't wait.
Yeah, so he'll be back in the Xfinity Series this week. And that'll do it for the lightning round. Jarrett, I think he has murderous intent in his eyes. He's about to go, he's about to go unleash the beast.
That was the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. And while Jarrett kills a cricket, we will get back to the show.
Yes, real quick. I just want to make sure there was a brief blip on my end from OBS. OBS gave me a little error, but hopefully it should be back. A lot of people are saying if it's refreshed, if they refresh the stream, will come back. So apologies for that sudden glitch, that sudden delay. But this episode is also sponsored by our other major sponsor, Forney Industries. Forney offers a full line of welding and plasma cutting machines, metalworking accessories, and much, much more. It's great for do-it-yourselfers or if you're a professional metalworker. Forney has for your next product or project. So be sure to shop Forney's top-of-the-line products at forneyind.com. That's Forney, I-N-D. Their link is down in the description. Or at an authorized Forney dealer near you. Big thank you to Forney for sponsoring the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Oh, I used to have their logo ready to put up right here.
Oh, yeah.
My computer crashed earlier, or I had we had a storm earlier, so my power blipped, and it's like my entire Zoom had to be refreshed. I don't know if that would do it, but a bunch of my files aren't saved there anymore. That's the shock. The shock
what
of the
in the hell? You guys always give me. Oh my god, I'm not safe, man.
You make some good faces. You really do. Well, real quick, we've got Carson Hocevar on deck, and I saw Carson actually sent a super chat earlier.
Oh, what's up? I didn't even see him in the chat.
Danny's got us covered. Why can I not open my super chats? Hold on a second.
Oh, do you guys want me to read the super chat I accidentally deleted earlier? He sent me it again. I know what it is. You want me to read that off?
Yes, read that again.
All right,
hold on. I don't think I killed the cricket, but I think I scared it to be quiet for a bit.
Yeah, be quiet for. Oh, Jar Jar.
So I think I scared. I put Jar Jar up.
Oh, freaking hate Jar. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me read this and then I'll close my eyes quickly. The $100 super chat came from TVP_83. Thank you so much. His super chat said, it said, Indy week. Can't wait for the road course and the doubleheader. And the chat can, what in the heck? And the chat, can we get a hell yeah for the 4 guys on the screen right now? Have fun at Indy, guys. So appreciate that, man. And I'm glad I was able to read that off. And I was saying sorry to him so many times in the DMs. I didn't mean to delete that super chat, but I'm glad we got it read off. So appreciate it, Timothy.
So I apologize. I'm having some technical glitches on my end. The link that usually takes you to read all the super chats is broken. I'm clicking it and it is not doing anything.
I've had that issue too. It makes a lot of those disappear for some reason.
No, they're there. I can see that they were sent, but I literally I can only see who sent them, and I can't even see all of those. But if I click the expand it button, it's not doing anything. So
Okay.
well, I apologize because I obviously really want to get to all of your super chats.
Did you try to go
Well,
to monetization?
a multitude of technical difficulties
Crazy.
in real time. The glory, the beauty of live television on the internet.
Let me refresh and see if the stream's still up. The stream's still up on my
Yeah,
end.
it now it said it reconnected. I apologize. It's just sort
It's
of.
coming and going, but it's there.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. All
It's the
right.
same problems I had a few weeks ago. So.
Well, apologies. Hopefully it stays. It keeps together. It looks like it's slowly coming back. I will hopefully figure out why nothing is working on my end.
Yeah.
In the meantime, let's go now to our recent conversation with NASCAR Truck Series playoff driver Carson Hocevar. It was really generous of him to spend some time with us yesterday. I saw him in the chat earlier, like I said.
Thank you.
Let's hear what he has to say about his season so far and what he's looking forward to in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series playoffs. Enjoy, y'all. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. We are joined now by NASCAR Camping World Truck Series playoff driver Carson Hocevar. Carson, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Eric. I appreciate y'all letting me on.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, congratulations on making the Truck Series playoffs. Did you have any idea that this was a realistic goal? Was this the goal coming into this season, or did this kind of surprise you a little bit?
I think obviously the goal is to win and be in championship contention. But I think if anybody looking at the beginning of the season would have thought the 45 with Brett and Phil would have been the ideal situation to go run for a championship. And, circumstances led to me being the head honcho, I guess, of the team. And I think it's really jump-started our season about halfway through. Me and Phil put together really good runs at Darlington and Charlotte coming close to wins and Knoxville being close. I think we've definitely turned our program around and I think shocked a lot of people.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure. Like when I first heard about the whole Nice deal with you, I was like really excited. I was like, oh yeah, he's really underrated. So I can't wait to see him racing there. But just talk about your rise to NASCAR up to this point. You started racing when you were I think it was 10 or 12, I believe, around there.
Yeah, I started when I was quarter midgets, about 7, but
Okay.
I about started in late models with help of Johnny Benson as a mentor about 13. And, looking back now, everybody was like, oh, that's too young. But, I'm sitting there like, oh, I could race. That would be fine. But, looking back on it now, he was probably a little bit crazy to throw me in there that early. But it was beneficial. I think it was huge. And, I think everybody knows money is a number one factor in this sport. And luckily I've had great partners and, my parents aren't well off, not making millions of dollars. They scrap every penny to help. And, Nice Motorsports and Chevrolet took a chance on me, after running ARCA and then a little bit with Jordan Anderson. And, that was huge. It's not normal for teams to take a chance on you. And, we barely had any sponsorship and they signed me before, we really had anything put together for funding. They said, we'll figure it out. So it's big. It's cool to have people believe in you like that, especially in this day and age in the sport. And, I owe everything to Al Neese and everybody here. And I'm glad we can put it in the playoffs and hopefully run for a championship.
Well, Carson, we at the show, we're kind of friends, I'd say, with Jordan Anderson. I want to know, what's it like racing for Jordan?
It's not that much similar than running for Nice. He had a really good program there, and they're in the same shop, to be honest. So I got to meet a handful of the Nice guys while I was running for Jordan. He was beneficial for sure. Running Eldora and running Phoenix. It didn't have a lot of springs or shocks or really anything besides what was on the truck to really make that truck any better than what it was. It's underfunded and everything, just scrapping for everything. But I think it makes you a better race car driver to appreciate, the low points, the kind of the struggles real quick and learn experience, and then getting a niche truck, which isn't super big dollars, but they make every penny count.
I remember watching that Eldora race and being like, who's this 16-year-old that Jordan's got in his truck? But obviously everyone knows your name now. So you're 18 years old now. So now you're racing on some of the big tracks. So how difficult has that transition been from just being the short track guy to now 1.5 mile super speedways? How difficult has that transition been?
I mean, it's difficult in the sense that everybody's good at these 1.5 miles. It's very little tricks that you pick up with doing the dirty air. Everybody can drive wide open or near wide open. There's not a lot of people that can't, which makes it so crucial. Every little run and momentum loss is massive compared to a short track, and just learning that and how to manipulate the dirty air, because all these cup guys, when they come run the trucks, especially Kyle, I don't see him really complaining much about dirty air. He'll complain when he gets to second or third, but he'll figure out how to get from last to third. And Ross Chastain kind of does that too, for sure. And being able to lean on him, and that's my benchmark at Nice Motorsports, is being like him and being to that level. And I still got a ways to go, but just having him in my back pocket and just talking with him nonstop has been crucial. That's been the biggest thing, especially without practice.
Now, looking at the playoff schedule of these 7 races, which of these races are you most looking forward to?
I mean, it's got to be Darlington. I think we had one of the best trucks there. I went to go-karts earlier today with Chevy for a training session, and even Sheldon Creed said how good our truck was. He's kind of not looking forward to that, but I'm looking forward to it for sure. And I know everybody at Nice was. I wish we could have that race back. We had the penalty, and guy got put behind the 8 ball and got back up there and got to third. But then when we just had yellows nonstop, when you can't really make up a lot of spots on a green white checkered. But it's fun. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm more so looking forward to every race in the playoffs I've been to. There's not a new track besides Talladega, which I think I can figure out. But yeah, I'm excited for that.
So one question I have, and I'm very curious with just about every driver on this one, is who is it that you find the most fun to race against? Is it someone like Kyle when he comes down to the truck series, or is it a regular like Sheldon Creed? Who is it that when you're racing against them, you're thinking, man, this is probably the most fun person to race against?
I mean, Kyle in that sense is just because it's the level of caliber he's at. So when you're racing him or even John Hunter, they're the 2 best in the series when they come run, and John Hunter's been the class of the field, and then Kyle when he comes runs, and Ross too. Like when those guys come and run, you're doing something right when you're racing them, and you'll get the respect back, and I mean they'll race the piss out of you really, but it's a good time.
Awesome. Well, I know Jarrett has some fan questions lined up, and we announced that you're going to be on the show. A lot of fans were very, very excited, and I pre-screened some of these, and a couple of these sound really interesting. So Jarrett, who's the first one we got up?
So the first one is from Ultimate 23 Dragon. Now she's a huge Johnny Benson fan, so you can kind of see where this is going to lead to. But she says, Carson, how have you enjoyed having multi-time NASCAR champion Johnny Benson as your mentor, and how has his knowledge and experience helped you improve? And what do you believe is the biggest lesson he's taught you in your career so far?
I mean, it's been huge, learning from him. I always make the joke that he taught me how to race, and working to the truck series, he's now teaching my dad the business side of it. He taught me to race, and now teaching the business side of it, how to talk with teams and talk with manufacturers and work on that deal. But he's been through it all. He's been from all the way to cup back to trucks. He's done it all, and he knows what it takes. And I know he for sure has in the back of his mind what he would have done different in his career and in the past. So just knowing what he would have done different and stuff to watch out for. It's like Wall Street in North Carolina. Everybody's out to get one another to try and get a one up on each other, and it's cutthroat around here. So you gotta watch your back a lot.
Well, another one here is from Marshall, and he asks, I have a question for Carson. How has no practice and qualifying for the majority of the season affected your performance on a weekly basis, in your opinion?
I mean, it's just I think with our program, it's so hit or miss. I think the consistency could have been better if we had practice. Charlotte, Darlington, we rely so heavily on the sim, and some days, the sim is going to be perfect, and then we go to Pocono, we're on the splitter. Brett brought the same setup that Ross won in 2019, and with a different tire, but the sim said we're going to be really free, but we're really tight, on the splitter. So it's hit or miss. You rely so much on the sim that I think everybody's so close in today's age. You're only as good as your sim, and it's just finding those little things to make your truck that much better is crucial. Not having practice, but I think on my part, from inside the truck, I think without practice, I think it's actually made me a better race car driver, because you got to be up on the wheel right away. And I think Charlotte, we had practice and went P2 right on the board. I think if I've never ran without practice, I think it would have taken me a handful of laps to really get accustomed, but I'm just so used to getting it done lap one, or trying to at least get it done lap one, that I think it's made everybody a better race car driver.
Now, we said we had two more serious fan questions. Now we got one last one that's kind of more fun, tongue-in-cheek here from Slow Motion. Says, is George Russell your cousin?
I wish I could get myself an Xfinity or an F1 ride. That'd be fun. But I think I got him beat on the looks part. I think he got the less looks, and I think I got height on him too. So he lost out on the genetics. Just he's on probably the better side of the country in terms of making a better salary.
That's awesome. Well, we appreciate it, Carson. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for answering our questions and our fans' questions. We try to rein them in, but sometimes, they get a little rambunctious out there. But really appreciate it. Where can people find you on social media, Twitter, Instagram, things like that? Do you have anything to plug in that department?
Yeah, just carsonhocevar.com. Every ad is at carsonhocevar. Pretty easy, unless you can't spell my last name. It's kind of tough.
It's in the title. They'll find it, hopefully.
Perfect. Just copy and paste.
I'm like 50-50 on your last name sometimes.
I feel like all my nicknames just come from mispronunciations. I can just rattle off 70 of them. So I appreciate y'all. I know I tune in quite a bit to y'all's podcasts and videos, so I appreciate y'all letting me on.
Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, and best of luck the rest of the season. Go get them.
Thanks, guys.
Oh gosh, I'm still playing the NASCAR Ignite trailer. Welcome back, everyone. A big thank you again to Carson Hocevar for joining us for that interview. Really appreciate it. And again, wishing him the best of luck in the upcoming Truck Series playoffs. If you're still watching, Carson, thanks again for joining us. Really had fun with that. I apologize profusely, but YouTube is bugging out and it is not allowing me to view any super chats that weren't sent in about the last 10 minutes. I apologize. I'll show you guys. Let's see if I can pull it up.
Yeah.
I'll show you guys the window. Those of you who are YouTubers, I don't know how many of them you are out there that have dealt with super chats in the past, may know the screen I'm showing, but I just wanted to show you guys the window that is okay. Here we go. It's popped up on screen. It's blocking Darian. This is what. So it's showing me. Look, I can see that all you guys are super chatted. But when I try to click that see all in the lower left, which would allow me to see and read every super chat, that button is quite literally just dead. It's not working. Like that button has been disconnected by YouTube, and it does not work. So
it's a YouTube thing too, because I logged into mine and I couldn't even open up mine. I'm not
so it is a site-wide glitch, not allowing me to go back and view your super chat. So I'm only showing you this because I don't want people to think I'm just taking the money and running or anything like that.
We're running away.
Yeah, I absolutely apologize that it wasn't that we haven't been able to show it. Again, TVP dropped a huge 100. I saw Irvin, I believe, earlier. A lot of familiar names I've seen super chat in the past, so we really do appreciate the support. And apologies that it's not working. And yes, we've refreshed it. That's what I was doing the entire time that Carson Hocevar interview was running. And
I see another one another one in there saying like to try on our phone. It's like, but even the
It won't
studio
have the
app.
same-
It's
doesn't
not-
let-
it's
yeah.
not an
the
option,
same
yeah.
options on there.
Yeah, the studio
Yeah.
app is very slimmed down. So unfortunately, I do have these two that were sent in the last 10 minutes I can read. So thank you to Chex Mix. NASCAR should have more standalone races for Xfinity and trucks and also get rid of their pit crew rules at those events. So you're saying like go back to live pit stops at standalones? Because the trouble with standalones is it costs a lot of money for Xfinity teams to fly their guys out there. Usually they use Cup Series pit crews that are already there. So it's cheaper. Standalone events are naturally a little more expensive for those teams. So I don't know. I don't know that's likely. It'd be cool, but I don't know that it's likely. And thank you, Alex Vivieros. Also sent a super chat. Riley, we need to score points this week. Okay, Riley. Okay, speed on pit road. I got it. No, we need to gain points, Riley. Got it. Spin out. I do that naturally. Oh gosh. So it's just a Riley Herbst attack super chat.
No.
Well, that was very funny. At least those two were very amusing. But again, I feel awful. I really apologize to all of you who sent in super chats in the last hour and a half. It's out of my control,
YouTube's
unfortunately. I wish I had known that was going to be a bug, that was going to be an issue. I would have taken precautions. So I apologize for that. Yeah, I mean, I guess show must go on. We've had a few technical glitches tonight, but
when Jarrett got up just now, I saw someone say that Jarrett was running because they thought the cops were coming after him for taking the money.
No. I'm running over because apparently the cricket is freaking immortal.
It's back.
I've hit it 4 times and it won't die.
Are you sure it's not his cousin now?
It's
I don't know.
coming back for revenge or something. Oh my goodness! Someone sent me another screenshot again. Look at this. Sent me another damn screenshot. You see my eyes are right there.
oh my God, why are you doing this, Darius? Well, and thank you for the super chat, Otis. Does NASCAR Weekly Podcast want to sponsor my late model?
Okay, can we send that $2 back and get a sponsor?
Yeah, no.
And thank you, Derek Cope, for the super chat. How are you, Wild Boys, doing? I was doing
Daytona 500 check.
I was doing better when YouTube was working.
Champ. What's happening, 500 champ? I got your car right here. I got your car.
Great timing, Derek Cope. But again, I do want to reiterate this because I do feel really, really bad. Thank you so much, all of you who super chat. This stream will be DVR'd, I guess. It stays up afterwards. And I believe if you go back and watch it, it will show all the super chats as they came in. So again, I really do appreciate it, and I'll be sure to check those out. And if any super chats come in from between now and the end of the show, I do have a backup window open that seems to be working now, so we will hopefully be able to see those. And thank you, Jay Walker, Master of Lightning. Are any of you guys going to the Charlotte Roval? I don't think so. Is anyone going to be at the Roval?
Read the end of it, though.
I saw that. Hashtag I stand with Darian. I did see some of the early super chats from the usual crowd. The Jar Jar Binkses of the world were upset with you, Darian.
Oh my gosh.
Good to know you have some defenders.
But the Roval, now that you mentioned it, I haven't even thought about it. I've always wanted to see it, though. So
let's just go book a flight right now, actually.
Let's just book it right now. Yeah.
Living on the edge.
Since our usual crowd didn't get their chance, I'm just gonna throw up Jar Jar.
There you go.
Oh, he's so ugly and he just sounds so hideous.
Hey, look. Hello there.
Yeah, hello there. There's my favorite. One of my.
You didn't tell me we had
right
more guests on the show tonight.
General Kenobi.
Hello. Oh yeah, Jared. That freaking edited video Jared showed me of him jumping and then just dying. That was funny. though, Jared.
Again, a huge thank you to those of you who support the show. Does not go unnoticed. I apologize we're not able to go back and read them. Hopefully that gets sorted out very, very soon. Really appreciate it. The show must go on, however, and we actually have 2 other pretty hot topics to get to before we get to pick. So it's going to be a packed episode tonight. First up, this week, Matt DiBenedetto, or actually last Sunday, Matt DiBenedetto told Davey Siegel that he will entertain anything for next year, including Xfinity, which is sort of a change.
Please give me anything. I'll take it.
It sounds getting desperate out there, are we? No, but it's a change in his tune. A month ago when he posted that video, he was, I want to be a Cup driver. I'm a Cup driver, blah, 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 Cup. I think reality's setting in that there may not be any good Cup rides available to him. So, Danny, what do you think about Matty D's shot? Do you think he goes to Xfinity or trucks? Do you think there's a contender out there that will have a spot for him?
At this point, I am more interested to see how his talent stacks up against the Xfinity Series. Like, he hasn't even been taking part-time opportunities during this time, so we haven't got a chance to see him doing that. Where has he done an Xfinity race recently? I can't remember.
I remember he used to race for some underfunded teams.
Yeah, but not all that recently.
He did a recent test in Xfinity karting for Penske.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did.
On the Indy road course, I think, but we haven't seen him get a chance to really compete yet. So I am curious how he would do.
I'm curious what competitive rides would be available for him. Like, I mean, I don't
Maybe
think there's any
Colleague?
done deals yet. Yeah, maybe
They'll have
Colleague.
an opening. Maybe. What about Penske in that 22? I doubt they'd put him there, but maybe.
That's what I'm saying. Like a maybe, but most likely, I don't think so. I mean, especially after what Roger Penske said regarding the whole deal with them too. He didn't sound.
Hopes up. That's his own fault.
Yeah, he didn't sound very
What
enthusiastic.
happens? What happens if it's just like this?
Crickets again. That's been the punchline like 4 different times tonight.
I literally.
Is the
muted
garage
it and blew
open?
the Dale-
Like,
no.
how'd he get in?
I don't know. Holes in the wall.
You said before we went on the air.
I activated the Dale call and it didn't stop.
That's it. It's a cricket call.
It's over, bro.
Oh, no.
If the Dale call doesn't scare him
It's getting
off.
more intense every time I try and kill it. It's like it's revenge at
Just
me.
torch the whole place, man. At this point, you might as well.
It's not my garage.
I was gonna say you said before the show you still have some fireworks left over. Just
Yeah, might as well just shoot him up, man.
send him for a
I
ride.
mean, maybe a place, being all serious for him, take me serious as a cricket goes on in the background. Maybe a place that he could do is just a plug and play of part-time at like Colleague, JRM, wherever might stop.
I thought you were still talking about the cricket, and then you started talking about race
No.
teams. And I was like,
No,
what is
I was like, take me serious as a cricket goes in the background.
No, Jared basically said like Matty D part-time would be a pretty realistic scenario as well.
Hey, that's what Hemrick did his first year when he returned to Xfinity last year with Gibbs. Oh no, he's gone and had it.
he's
I've never
really
seen him
pissed
walk
now.
like that. He had like that.
Whoa, he slammed the headphones down too, bro. I've never seen him do this. Yeah, man, so this is serious. But
Hey,
no, Matty D part-time, that does make a lot of sense though.
I like what I've done here. I am General Kenobi now.
Oh no, but the
Wow.
hello there is backwards. backwards
mirrored.
stuff.
Wait,
It's mirrored. It's mirrored.
Yeah, it's
it's
flipped.
backwards.
Yeah, I'm
It's
sorry.
mirrored. Yeah, it's mirrored on the
It's
screen.
normal on my end.
No,
That's
it's
not
bad.
good.
It's mirrored here.
Rough. Well, yeah, I guess
At least
that,
you tried.
yeah, that about covers it.
Is it mirrored now?
Yeah,
yes.
it's still mirrored. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, Matt DiBenedetto, definitely, I'm happy to hear that he's sort of broadened his options, that he's willing to go. There's no shame in going back to Xfinity, or even trucks
No.
for that matter. If he goes
Dude,
into Xfinity,
you're
now there's shame if he goes. Let's say he goes to Colleague next year and doesn't win anything.
Yeah.
Then there's shame. Then it's like
But-
you are what we thought you were, that kind of thing. But
Matty D, he's been at points in his NASCAR career as a whole where you've either labeled him as a bust or he's been unemployed for some time and stuff. I think he would much rather prefer staying in NASCAR in general rather than just
yeah, take
leaving
anything,
entirely.
even if it's
Yeah.
part time. You just gotta expand your options.
Yeah,
Chase.
Well, think about Elliott Sadler when he did it,
Mhm.
and it was honestly probably for the best for his entire career. He was, I don't think I saw Elliott Sadler happier than when he was racing in the Xfinity Series.
Yeah.
Like after that,
and he was competing for championships too. Like I mean, so it was a win-win. Yeah.
I see.
won races.
If you go down to Xfinity and you contend like Elliott Sadler did, like I imagine if he's driving for a good team, Matt DiBenedetto would do, I don't think there's real shame in that. I think everyone understands it's a business.
Now, if you don't win any
yeah.
races,
Now,
then,
if you go down to Xfinity and you run eighth or something every week, then it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
we'll forget about you in a couple of years. But I'm glad he's keeping his options, all of his options open. He's not
Yeah.
slamming
if
any
they
doors.
if they can get some funding, I'd honestly be curious to see another Stewart Haas car.
Yeah, and in conclusion, I mean, Matty D is just an overall fan favorite in general. Depending on who you ask, really, I think most of the chat does root for Matty D.
I want to see Riley Herbst have another year and have Matt Benedetto as a teammate and see who does better.
Exactly. I mean, just Matty D, like he needs to stay in NASCAR. If he were to leave NASCAR as a whole, I think that would be way too much. Like, no, he deserves to have some type of ride in some series.
Need some funding. This is what I said on my show. He's a decent driver, but he has no money. That's not a good combination in NASCAR, unfortunately. I'm sorry. That just doesn't always work out. But I guess we can move on because this show has gone fairly late. But one other topic we want to address before we get into picks. Cody Ware speaking to a friend of the show, fellow YouTuber, David Land, speaking to him at Nashville this weekend, said that they expect to have 1 or 2 Cup cars. Rick Ware Racing expects to have 1 or 2 Cup cars next year, and then they kind of left it at that. Which right now they own 4 charters, or they co-own one of them, but they have four charters. They run 4 full-time teams this year. Rick Ware has said in the last couple weeks that the goal is to have 1 or 2 more competitive cars next year. It was, not going to win a championship or anything, but better than they are now. So it sounds like by all these accounts, Rick Ware Racing is downsizing and will instead pour more effort and resources into 1 or 2 cars that will hopefully be a little more competitive.
I like it.
But,
I like it.
What's the word competitiveness sense? Are we talking like 25th, 20th? I don't want to jump the bend here, and then they're over their head that they can't be. I don't want them to be thinking they're going to be up there winning or anything like that.
I think they mean competitive.
I think they mean better. I think they mean maybe top 25 in points.
That would be more realistic.
Like where Petty is, or
I think it's good. I think it's a good strategy. I mean,
if they're talking maybe on the level of Spire, I could understand that.
Yeah.
Spire is a team I will say actually has improved over the years.
They've gotten better this year since the year's gone on. They started bad,
but yeah, Rick Ware Racing, I've always had this thought. It's like, okay, they've been one of the underfunded teams for a while now and all that stuff. One of the underdog teams, as the fan base views them as. When would they ever get better was always my question.
Well,
maybe the time's now. Maybe the time's now.
If you're selling charters for $10 million a pop,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're getting a lot of money for these freaking charters, like, you better put all of that money into these 2 cars and be more competitive, like they're talking about.
Maybe that's how it'll work out.
Yeah. Oh.
Give James Davison a good car at a road course, and let's see what happens.
I was just about to say this. Now, it'll all depend if this team does have very strong ambitions to be way more competitive. Who will the drivers be? Because I would assume
Romain
Cody
Grosjean.
Ware. I wish, but I would assume Cody Ware isn't going anywhere. Now, in IndyCar, he's a lot better in IndyCar than he is in NASCAR, but
Cody at this point needs to figure out where he wants his home to be. I feel like he jumps around so much, and I still remember him being quoted a year ago saying he wouldn't be racing for his dad's team anymore.
And he did. So yeah, that was a weird situation. But I mean, if they do want to be competitive, do they think realistically that with the current driver lineup they have that's possible?
Davidson's good at the road courses.
No, Davidson. I like Davidson.
They got Josh Balicki races for him sometimes. He's not bad.
You want Derek Cope at Daytona.
Oh God!
Who would? JGR wishes they had him.
But yeah, I think either James Davison or like Danny just said, a Josh Balicki would be a pretty good lineup in my opinion. But I mean, again, Rick Ware's the owner, Cody Ware is his son, so
Matt DiBenedetto gets that ride.
Yeah, I would guess that Cody Ware isn't going anywhere. So if the goal is to be more competitive and stuff, I mean, it seems like that would be more of a challenge with those 2 at the wheel.
They're going to draw Paul Menard out of retirement.
Yeah, I mean, just get someone, get a veteran or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, get one of the veterans that haven't been in the sport in a while and stuff like that. And
Matt Kenseth needs to just throw his phone in the toilet. Do not answer that call, Matt. I do not want to see you in a Ric Flair car.
Oh, you got a call?
No, Matt, stop it. Stop it, Matt. No.
I remember, didn't Matt Kenseth get offered the 43 in 2017? Or no. Edwards did. That's right. Yeah. They even called up Carl Edwards in 2017. RPM did. So I always thought that was funny. Like, just these random teams will call up these drivers way into retirement and be like, hey, our rides aren't it's not as good, but you want to drive it,
So, Carl Edwards versus Matt Kenseth. Carl Edwards says, "You got a car you want me to drive? You'll pay me how much? I'm sorry, but someone's got to grow this corn, man. I can't do it. Just call Kenseth, see what he's doing. Kenseth, you got a car? No funding? I don't care.
It's only got 3 wheels. I'll take it."
But yeah, in conclusion though, Rick Ware Racing, I do think they do have some promise for the future if they put, all of the charter money into the right resources into these 2 cars. But as far as the driver lineup is concerned, that could potentially hold them back from any sort of success possibly.
Yeah.
that they want to achieve in the future.
Well, one other interesting tidbit on that is, assuming they are shrinking to a 2-car team, they're either going to sell or lease those additional charters. I bet you 2311 gets one, and maybe who knows gets the other one. So that's important as well as far as silly season and setting themselves up for next season. So,
but good luck to them. I hope they succeed.
I love the idea. I love that this is a NASCAR fan's best case scenario here. Rickware Racing takes up less spots in the field and might be a little more competitive. I mean, that's amazing. I think that's what everyone wants to see.
Yeah, I want more competitive cars in the field. Yeah.
So that's going to do it for all the stories we have to get to. All that's left here in the closing minutes of the show is to talk about the Indianapolis Road Course weekend. NASCAR, IndyCar, same track this weekend, same configuration even. All 4 of us will be here at least on Sunday, and I know at least 3 of us will be here the entire weekend. My first time at Indianapolis since 2007.
My first time ever.
Exciting stuff.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, my first time ever too.
So it's going to be a good time. Really excited about that. One thing we didn't really debate tonight, and I think we can mention it real quick here before we get into picks. How do you guys feel now that it's been a year, now that it's actually happening? How do you feel about the Brickyard 400 getting the axe and it being the road course instead? Because I read a good article.
Good.
I read an article from Matt Weaver, for Auto Week, and this weekend he interviewed a bunch of drivers, and a lot of veterans. Pretty much every veteran driver in the field said they hate it. Said they'd much rather be at the oval. So I don't know.
I get why they want to run it, for historic purposes and all that stuff, and I would assume it's a pretty fun track to race on in real life, But I mean, the on-track product, though, it just doesn't sell anymore. And then like the Brickyard 400, I feel like it just got way too watered down, towards the end there and stuff. So I like the road course. I like that they doing on the road course now. So yeah,
take him to IRP. Just take him to IRP. That's what I wanted to do the whole time.
I would prefer that. Yeah, but and the next best option.
I'm gonna try one more time. I killed one of them, and another one came back.
Oh, they multiply.
It's like a Hydra. You cut one head off, and 2 more take its place.
Except instead, its wings to be louder.
You have the whole family now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go try and kill it.
Okay, good luck. Yeah,
good luck.
As far as the Brickyard, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I get that. The problem is the Brickyard 400 was broken 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. It was still one of the most prestigious events on the schedule, at least from a fan and sponsors.
The 2008 race happened.
It's just fallen off a cliff. There's like 30, 40,000 people at most in the stands the last time they ran it with fans there, and it's just that's not going to cut. That can't. That was no longer sustainable. I understand the drivers love racing on the historic oval, and I understand it's no longer a crown jewel in that respect. But I just think it was becoming an irrelevant event to the fans watching at home.
Dude, the optics.
Too many of them.
Just from the optics perspective, it looks so bad to see that many empty seats at
the problem
that big of a track.
We'll probably see a lot of empty seats again this week. Let's be honest. I bet they'll have 50 or 60K there. Maybe more because IndyCar's racing as well. We'll see.
I think we end up buying tickets not around y'all. I think we won't have a problem sitting with y'all.
I bought tickets, but I don't even remember where my seat is.
I literally tweeted yesterday, like, hey, where are the best spots to watch the race from? Because I figure you'll be able to move around a little bit throughout the weekend. But as someone who's not racing in it, who doesn't get the chance to win on the oval, because I understand that's what a lot of drivers love. They love racing on the oval and winning there. That's such super huge.
Yeah, and I get that aspect.
But as a fan, I want to see better racing. I think the road course will provide that, and I'm excited that it has allowed them and IndyCar to take place at the same place on the same weekend. I think that's
get to see my first IndyCar race too in person. Yeah. Finally, bro.
I don't know if this was covered while I went and murdered the other cricket, but one point that I saw a lot of people trying to bring up is like NASCAR is killing every one of its major traditions, and I'm like, this hasn't even been a 30-year tradition, and they're comparing it to.
This wasn't even anyone's favorite.
So they're comparing it to the Southern 500, the Coke 600, the Daytona 500. I'm like, listen, the Brickyard is historically relevant, but it's not for stock cars.
Wait a minute. Wasn't hella people complaining for the past 2 or 3 years? Get it off the schedule. Mm-hmm. And now we take it off the schedule entirely and give them something else. And now they want it back. I don't get NASCAR.
I would have hoped the thrilling Xfinity race last year would have helped, build up positive momentum for the Cup race this year, because last year, the last 10 laps of that race last year was the best road course racing I've ever seen, bar none, in any sport, any track ever.
It was good.
It was amazing. I've gone back and watched it 5 times already this week to build hype for it. Briscoe, Gregson, that whole group, Oh, so good, so good. So I hope it's a good show. I just root for better racing, and I think we'll get that this weekend. I understand it's not the same tradition, but if it becomes an annual thing, this becomes the annual IndyCar NASCAR doubleheader. To me, that's a pretty hyped up event.
That's good.
That's a pretty special to win that weekend with so many stars in one place from American Motorsports. That should be still held in pretty high regard.
Now that we need to stick with it more than just a couple of years.
Yes.
I think so too.
Like I get the argument of not of changing tradition, but if we can start another one, not change too much, and just stick it out and make something bigger of this, I am cool doing this. Because it might not be the only IndyCar NASCAR doubleheader, but it's the only one at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Even if it is a road course, that's still like IndyCars at Indianapolis.
Yes, historic.
It's the same,
no matter
it's
what.
the same level as NASCAR to me. I mean, it's especially in Indiana.
Yeah.
So.
And I cannot wait to see that race. I can't wait to see the IndyCar race, man. It's gonna be great.
I'm finally going. That drew me in.
And also, IndyCar, their field this weekend is the biggest since. No, Danny, come back, Danny. But IndyCar's field this weekend is the biggest since 2011. Actually, since 2011 Kentucky. So we're got a huge car count this weekend. And where did Danny go? Danny, where'd you go?
He says his computer crashed, so I'm not the only one having technical glitches tonight.
Everybody's messing up.
Am I the only one in the last 2 weeks that hasn't had some sort of computer issue?
Yeah, apparently so.
First time
now,
for everything.
Apparently so. Damn, everybody's had some type of issue.
Danny will join us in a moment. In the meantime, though, let's get ready for Indianapolis this weekend.
Are we also picking the winner for the IndyCar race as well?
Sure.
I guess we could. Are we
doing
doing
one?
points or
We'll do bonus points, same way we did for the SRX.
We can do bonus points. We can do bonus points.
Like plus 4?
Yeah,
sure.
It'll just
Yeah,
be a
we can
bonus
do
thing.
I had to do research on IndyCar now.
All right, well, beginning the weekend, IndyCar is actually the opener this weekend. So IndyCar will be on NBCSN and the NBC Sports app on Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time, so an early start time, basically a noon start almost for those of you.
You love that, Jared.
The Xfinity race will follow it up, also on NBCSN, back to back. That race will be at 4 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday, so a short gap between the two. And then on Sunday on Big NBC, I like it. They're still running this one on Big NBC. The NASCAR Cup Series will race again at noon Central, at least 1 p.m. Eastern time. Is this Eastern time or Central time?
I thought it was Central.
Eastern.
Central, right? Oh,
Eastern.
really?
It's Eastern?
Wow.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
it
So
is.
not quite
It is.
noon local time, but close, very,
Okay.
very close. 1 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday for the Cup Series race. Weather is looking pretty darn good. Temperatures in the highs, the high temperatures both days are in the high 70s, low 80s.
Yep.
Both days
Shorts.
expected to be sunny. 0% chance of rain on Saturday, only a 5% chance of rain on Sunday. So it should be pretty high and dry in Indianapolis. I'm excited to get out of this 100-degree weather for a few days.
Yeah, it is 88 today, which isn't that bad.
Only
but
88 in Vegas. Whoa.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy,
Whoa,
right?
that's
Yeah, in the
really
summer.
nice.
It's going down.
That's
It's
like
really
Christmas
nice.
time.
I just love that it's on Big NBC for Cup.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
good.
it.
Good stuff. Hopefully get that momentum going in the right direction again.
I have a question because I know that both the Xfinity and IndyCar are being on NBCSN. When are they going to announce what the deal is when NBCSN is gone now after the Olympics?
I've been wondering that as well.
There's nothing.
We came into this year, like not just like the beginning of the year, being like, oh yeah, some races will be on USA Network, and we're getting close to the end of the season, and there's been no word about USA Network.
Nothing.
If you look on NASCAR's website, they all still say NBCSN. So maybe they decide not to move any of the NASCAR races. Maybe other content will get moved. Because, again, the channel's not going away until after this year. So maybe they'll keep the races on NBCSN. Let me let Danny back into the Zoom call just in time.
Come back, Danny.
For
Come
Darian,
back.
do you have the betting odds for the Cup race pulled up?
I do, and I haven't pulled up this time. I'm
Let
ready.
us know. Who's
I'm
the
all
favorite?
prepared.
Who's your hometown favoring in this one?
So these are the odds. These are the odds-on favorites for the 2021 Verizon 200 at the Brickyard. Chase Elliott comes in with his odds being plus 200. Kyle Larson, the previous week's winner, his odds are plus 350. Martin Truex Jr. plus 600. Kyle Busch plus 900. And rounding out the top five, Denny Hamlin plus 1200. So these
Where do
four
they have
top.
where do they have like AJ Allmendinger? Where's he?
All right. Actually, both Austin Cindric and AJ Allmendinger have 2,000 and 2,200 odds in their favor, I guess. So that could be a pretty good dark horse bet if you're looking to make some quick money.
And something else to remember too is Indiana is a state that is legalized sports gambling for the most part, so we can go all out with it.
Yeah, we can go all out. Yep, I'll definitely have my DraftKings stuff ready for sure.
My tradition is to make a few bets for every race that I attend, so I'll be doing something.
Yeah, so yeah, go nuts, everybody. Yeah, it'll be a fun one.
Well, I know I'm putting money on whoever Jarrett picks, because if we look at our pick points, Jarrett extended his lead by a couple of points this past weekend. None of us picked the winner in the Cup race, but Jarrett picked Chase Elliott. That gained him a few points over me, who picked Truex, who finished third. So right now, Jarrett leads our little points battle. He has 439 total. I'm second, minus 40. Then it's the guests.
Everyone
92.
else sucks.
The
Everyone
chat
else
is
sucks.
also minus 92, so the chat's tied for third. And then Darian minus 95 in fifth, and Danny B bringing up the rear for the time being, minus 121.
I could get P3, bro. I could get P3 in one weekend, maybe. We'll see.
That battle for third is extremely
I can
tight
get
right
on
now.
the podium, bro. So let's go. I can get on the podium, man. I got a shot.
I don't know how this happens. Kevin Harvick randomly shows up in these BJ McLeod cars, and I feel like they never talk about it.
Never. Yeah, they never.
Because not
It's
even
just like,
Harvick
hey,
can
I'm just
bring that
racing.
thing to the front. And it's,
Like,
well,
it's like,
well, let's start off with the IndyCar race for bonus points. I'm gonna let Darian knows the most about IndyCar out of all four of us. So I'm gonna let him start. I'll let him set the tone. Darian, who's your pick?
okay.
For the
Well,
Indy
well,
race?
first off, the guest pick. Our guest picks Alexander Rossi to win the IndyCar race. I'm gonna go with Colton Herta. You know, he's coming off of a
heartbreak.
a heartbreaker. Basically, threw the entire race away in those closing laps. But I mean, throughout the weekend, P1 in free practice, P1 in free practice number 2, you know, P1 in qualifying, and then he was making his way back up to the front. But you know, unfortunately, you know, he made a mistake. So I think he'll be on the comeback trail this weekend. So I like Colton Herta. The last time he ran here, he was pretty good in my opinion. So Colton Herta, I got him.
Well, I do remember watching this race last year for IndyCar, and I remember Scott Dixon being really good. He won it, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So
I think so.
I'm going with Scott Dixon again this year.
Yeah.
I was going to go with Scott Dixon as well, veteran driver. And, you know, while he didn't win this last weekend at Nashville, he all of a sudden popped up second, you know. He was right there in contention at the very end.
Here's someone, we're not doing suck picks, but this might be right. They said suck Jimmy.
Oh no! I was like,
Yeah.
leave him alone.
Oh my God! I just realized this is the first time since last year I watched Jimmy Johnson.
Hey, there we
He's
go.
gonna be in that Cup
That's-
Series
that's
garage
good.
making
That's
deals
good.
for next year.
That's going to be kind of cool, though, for him to be kind of like back in that area with them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna list off 5 finishes here for the last 5 years at the Indianapolis Road Course.
Okay.
7th, 2nd, 2nd, 1st.
Terrible. What a garbage driver.
Well, it's your pick too, Scott
Oh,
Dixon.
So basically, 3/4 of us are all in with Scott Dixon.
I'm with Herta, bro. I'm with Herta all the way. Herta
What do we got in the chat?
Chats.
Let's see. I'm seeing a lot. Oh, BK. He did get his first career win there too. BK. Yeah, he's a good pick.
Definitely seems to be leaning Dixon, it looked like. Although I've seen it's really just one guy saying
I
Alex
see
Palou.
Dixon, Pelot's in there.
Grosjean.
Oh, I'm seeing a lot of Dixons
Here
now.
comes all the Dixon.
They're not voting for Jimmy.
No, Jimmy Johnson.
This is the NASCAR Weekly podcast. Damn it! Well,
One
that's all
person
right.
even said Johnson will wreck 3 cars this weekend.
Hey,
Oh,
I'll
man.
put in Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, I'll put him in there just in case.
All right. Well, it sounds like the guests or the chat, picked Scott Dixon. So
Yeah.
you ready to move on to the Xfinity Series race, the only other NASCAR race besides the Cup Series racing this weekend. Same order. We want to start with Darian. Who's your pick?
Yep. So the guest pick for Xfinity is Ty Gibbs.
And is our guest TVP 83?
Yeah, TVP.
Yeah, we felt bad
Yeah.
that we couldn't read a super chat, and
I
Darian
felt bad.
deleted
I
his super
deleted it.
chat.
I know. I was saying sorry doing the DM.
I don't know. I was
the
going to
whole
delete
time.
it.
He's
I'll
the guest
delete it.
pick.
I don't even know how I did that, but yeah.
You know
yeah,
what's
good
funny
pick.
about Darian deleting it?
What?
That means that even on the replay, no one can see
Oh,
what he
no.
put.
Oh, it's even worse. Oh god.
I'm just gonna
no,
put
it's
salt
bad.
in that wound.
Oh my
I don't
God.
even know how I deleted it. I must have clicked it and then the remove button must have been there. I must have accidentally hit it. I don't know. But anyways, is Ty Gibbs racing important?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
So Ty Gibbs. Yep, he's my winner. Yep.
Danny, what about you?
I want to say Ty Gibbs, but
You need
Wait.
to make up lots of points.
Wait.
Don't fail me, Austin Cindric.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
That's not a
little
bad
different.
one.
Yeah, it's not a bad one.
You said Harvick's racing in the 99?
Yeah,
BJ.
he's gonna get a top 10. He ain't gonna.
Well,
win.
he's Kevin Harvick. I think Kevin Harvick's going to do really well.
Hey, I think he got him a top 5 at Coda this year.
Exactly. Like Kevin
Yeah.
Harvick. Kevin Harvick's going to be really.
He
won't win, but-
He can put that car up there. He can't win in that
Oh,
car.
I don't know about that. Kevin Harvick's really, really good. With that being said, Ty Gibbs is my pick.
I knew it.
I knew you were not about to pick Kevin
Yeah.
Harvick.
Y'all
I was like,
y'all are
wait.
discrediting
And
Harvick
and
though.
BJ McLeod's car. No,
No, I
offense,
mean
BJ.
he's good in that car and stuff, but I mean as far as like winning a race, like that's a little too much, I think. But
Imagine,
He can run good
imagine
in that car,
Harvick
though.
gets his first win of any kind this year in a BJ McLeod
I
car.
swear to God. And if we're there to see it, I swear. I'm
What
gonna
is this?
shit bricks.
Thread we're in here. Yeah.
All right, Eric. Once again, you're not going to be making up any points on me because I had it written down before. Let me cover up the rest of my picks. I had it written up before in black ink. I have a blue pen right now. I had Ty Gibbs written down.
Okay.
So
I'm excited.
I made my picks before I left for my trip on Monday, just
He's
so that I
prepared.
had them ready.
We
He
get
has
to
the points
see
lead, so he's got to be prepared.
we
now,
get to see
you know?
those sport clip colors in person this week for the first time on Ty Gibbs'
In
car. That's
victory.
exciting.
That's right.
Yeah,
Victory Lane.
he's gonna win. I'll bet you he leads the most laps. I bet you he doesn't lead. I bet he.
I bet you he leads every lap.
Yeah, I bet you he leads every lap. I bet you he sets every record in the book. I think he's gonna do everything.
Question: if Ty Gibbs wins, do you think he'd be a person who'd do a burnout over the bricks?
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
if he does.
No, he's the kind of guy who would do it and just out of pure negligence, not out of
with-
spite. He just wouldn't even
Yeah.
know they were
With
there.
it
He'd just
no
start
longer-
burning down.
With it no longer being the traditional Indy, do you even kiss the bricks this year?
I didn't know this. This is
You always kiss the
This
bricks.
is a bit of
in my
Is it true? I didn't find this out until like this week. Is it true that NASCAR, that Dale Jarrett's the guy who started that tradition?
Yes,
I
he
didn't
did.
know that
Yes, he
until
did.
this week. It was in like
Yes, he did.
'96, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't realize it was a NASCAR guy that
Hey.
began that tradition. That's kind of wild.
I don't know why. I could see someone doing it. You know how Ty Gibbs did the burnout last week where he put it up against the wall and he just started burning it down? Just do it that way.
Oh.
Right on the bricks. Oh my
Right
god,
on.
that would be so
Dude,
funny.
IndyCar fans are not gonna like that at all. But
I'll be honest, I wouldn't want to see that in person.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
I don't
want to
know.
see that.
I don't know. Come
And
on.
that's a good way for Ty Gibbs to turn heel right there.
I like how we're all just assuming Ty Gibbs is going to win the race. We're not even thinking about
I
if
know.
he doesn't
I
win.
said
Not
if.
think about anything.
I said if.
No,
I
well,
said
we
if.
all said when. That's crazy. He's 18
then-
years old and we're that confident. Anyway, who's the chat pick? I think they might be going with Gibbs or Cindric. I
Let's
saw
go
last
with-
Cindric.
Right.
Go
Gibbs.
Gibbs.
Of
Oh,
course
yeah.
they're going Gibbs. Of course they are.
And you want to hear something funny? I was thinking,
What?
if Ty Gibbs wins, Danny's gonna be like 135 back.
I don't care at this point. I'm
All or nothing. He's going for it.
Danny's tanking for nothing.
I'm trying to go for P3. I'm trying to go for that podium slot,
Hey.
man.
But if Austin Cindric, the defending series champion, wins, then he makes up like 20 points on us. So,
Yeah, so
No,
that's-
he'll make up like, let's see, he'll make up 5.
That's just crazy. The defending series champion, who's also pretty much everyone agrees maybe the best road course racer in the series, and we're all picking Ty Gibbs pretty much. Like we're all
Ty
like, oh no,
Gibbs is
Ty
that
Gibbs is
good. Sorry,
That's
Ty
nuts.
Gibbs is that good,
That is
yo.
nuts. That's crazy.
Sorry.
Best prospect since Joey Logano, easy. Maybe even more hyped up than Logano. Not even gonna lie.
Hey, no, I'd say since Kyle Busch.
Oh.
well.
Oh, I'm doubling down there.
How many wins did Joey Logano get in his first Xfinity Series season? Where
I think he
ran
got
two
like.
races?
Well,
I
he's
think
still
he got
on
a
record
couple.
as the youngest Xfinity winner ever.
Well, yeah, you can't
Yeah.
take that. I don't think anyone ever beat that. But how many wins is what he?
Let me
He had a
see.
few. I think he had 3 in his
Really
first
quick.
full season.
You ready for me to piss off all the Gen X fans?
Oh God, here we go. What?
Best since Jeff Gordon.
Oh.
Honestly, you
Better.
might be right.
No, then we'll piss off the Boomer fans too. Best since Earnhardt.
Oh my God.
Dude, Ty Gibbs.
I love this
Ty
part.
Gibbs will be the next to
Hey.
hit 7 championships.
Guys, let's piss off the 1948 fans. Best since Red Byron.
No, but Joey Logano only won 1 race in his first season. So Ty Gibbs, I mean,
Hey,
wow.
Xfinity was more
man.
competitive back then.
It was,
than
it
today.
was, it
Same
was,
with ARCA
yeah.
and all that, so take it with a grain of salt. But for sure, Ty Gibbs is exciting. So let's move on to the Cup race. Let's start with who's going to suck in the Cup Series race. Do we have a guest pick for that from TVP?
No, I didn't get I just
That's
got the
okay.
win picks.
We'll get the
Yeah,
win
that's
picks,
fine.
all that matters. So who's
That's
your
fine.
suck pick then, Darian?
Yeah. Austin Dillon. I mean, he's on the bubble and stuff, but like his track record on the road courses is not subpar. It's not up to par, basically. So yeah, Austin Dillon. He's gonna lose more ground to that final playoff spot, and then the divide in RCR will grow further and further, trying to hit the final. I don't know.
Looking for drama anywhere.
I know.
He might have been in the top 3 the last race I saw him race at, but this does not do well for him. I think that Alex Bowman hit it up
Every time. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going.
Wait a minute,
What?
Danny. He wins after every race you go to, and you're going to Michigan.
and the reverse psychology. It's like okay, Danny was there last week. Well, I'm here again.
Surprise him.
Not bad.
Well, I'm going with Brad Keselowski. I don't think they're going to fix those brake issues one week to the next. And either way, Keselowski himself, he's a good driver, solid on road courses, but he's never won a cup race at a road course. So I'll go with Brad Keselowski.
I'll make amends to probably a good deal of the fans that I made upset. I'll say Bubba Wallace. Let's be real. Real.
He's not. Yeah, he's not.
It was cool that Michael Jordan was there last week, but man, he needs to stop going to these racetracks that he's been to Sonoma this year, and he's been to.
He goes to road courses.
Stop going to the road courses, man. He's not that good there.
Go to Daytona. What are you doing?
I'll take the safe pick on that one.
I think chat's going Austin Dillon. I mean, I'm just going to go quickly so we can move on to the next one. But I think chat's leaning Austin Dillon. So underdog, dark horse. Who is going to shock the world this weekend, Darian? Who you thinking? There's some choices out there.
Oh, there's not some choices. It's one clear cut favorite, Chase Briscoe. I mean, you saw his performance there last year and stuff, and I mean, he's starting to pick it up a little bit now. I mean, got another top 10 last week and for Storehouse Racing, and what has been a very tough year. So Chase Briscoe, I think he'll get a top 5 perhaps this weekend. Yeah, we'll see.
That would be his first of his career, I think. So
yeah, first Cup Series top 5. So we'll see.
So the guy I'm looking at actually has done pretty fair on road courses, to be honest. Let's see. Let me run back and see what he's done this year. Let's see. Where's the first one here? I know at Road America, he finished 7th. At Sonoma, he also finished 7th. And Circuit of the Americas, he finished 4th. So I'm really thinking that Ross Chastain is somebody you're going to want to have your eyes on. He even finished 12th at Watkins Glen last week. It was inside of top 10 for a lot of that. Ross Chastain, low-key, a really solid road course racer.
Yeah. I'm glad you said Ross Chastain because I believe Chase Briscoe is the clear underdog favorite. But I was going to mention Chastain. But the other guy I want to mention is AJ Allmendinger, of course. He's only made 3 starts this year. They've all been road courses. He was, I'm going to get him mixed up, I think. I think he was 7th at the Daytona road course and 5th at COTA. Can he jump that up to maybe the 3rd this week? 7.53. Can he do that? I think that's possible. He was a part of that epic Xfinity Series battle last year, so he has time on this track already that a lot of Cup drivers don't have. So keep an eye on the dinger, as always.
Oh, that's me. Chase Briscoe.
Yeah, probably the clear underdog favorite.
Yeah.
Well, it's just how he's done so far on the road courses this year and the win last year. Like if he lays an egg this week, it'll probably be one of the most disappointing individual races for anyone this year.
That would suck if he did that. Please don't do that.
So as far as the chat goes, I've seen a little bit of support going my way for Ross, but it's mostly Chase Briscoe. It looks like.
Yeah, it's been
dude, it's funny in the chat. YouTube keeps blocking Reddick. So Reddick, unfortunately, they keep blocking it. Unfortunately, I see why now.
I see why.
I'm trying to keep up with it, but yeah,
that's funny. It looks like Briscoe though, but that is
funny. Yeah, it looks like Briscoe. It was blocking Reddick in the chat a few times though. I was like, wait, why am I? Oh, I see why. Okay, so.
Well, let's move on to our win pick. This is for all the marbles. This is what
Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win?
Who did our guest say is gonna win, Darian?
Let me see. So our guest says that upset Chase Briscoe takes the victory.
Ooh, this is gonna be a while. Could see some shakeups there in the top 3 in our standings.
It's gonna be a good one. Okay, so I'm up next.
Go.
Now, we saw how this guy in particular performed at Road America before he had the issues. You guys know who I'm talking about?
Oh, no.
Austin Cindric is going to pull off the upset this weekend, shock the world, and get his first career Cup Series victory. He's not even full-time in the Cup Series yet, but that's how good he is on the road courses.
It's only because Ty Gibbs isn't in the race.
That's all. But no. But Austin Cindric gets his first career Cup Series win this weekend.
So I'm kind of agreeing with Darren. I've been debating between him as well, but I'm actually with our guest pick. I was saying Briscoe. That's why I don't have him as my underdog. I'm saying Briscoe will win this weekend.
The first response. There goes Darian's chances at a podium finish.
My God.
Hey, we'll see. I'm taking a big gamble though, so we'll see what happens.
I mean, Briscoe and what's his name, Cindric. They were the two who was contending for the win in the first and only race on the Indy road course. So far.
Yeah. So, but we'll see how they do in the Cup Series. We'll see.
Oh my gosh, we are 3 picks in, and not one person has mentioned William Clyde Elliott as their pick. I cannot believe this.
That was a good one.
Chase Elliott is by far the best road course racer in NASCAR. I know he hasn't seen this place before, but you got to believe he's going to run up front. So with that being said, my pick is Chase Briscoe. He put on an amazing show last year in the Xfinity race.
Hey, we still pick Chase.
Really?
We still pick Chase.
Hey, I know you're gonna pick. I know you're gonna pick Chase, Jarrett. You did last week, so I have to try something. I have to try anything.
You're real.
Let's go Briscoe.
my
I'm all in.
God.
Indiana boy, he's gonna ride the same momentum that he picked up here.
Hey, I'm too far back,
That's
so I don't
That's
care.
it. That's your end final answer. Holy
Yeah,
crap!
going Briscoe. This is it. I feel like a
He's
road course
risking
is
it.
one of my few chances to make up points on.
Oh,
this.
it's gonna be.
I
This
feel
is gonna be
like
fun.
Christopher Bell is good at-
there because I didn't pick Chase Elliott this
Oh,
week.
Oh,
I picked Kyle freaking Larson.
wow. No, wow.
plot twist. I feel like I've been
I'm
stabbed in the
sorry.
back.
Well,
Outside of Daytona, this man's been the fastest person all year at the road courses. I gotta finally pick him.
Hey, people are pointing out Chase. There's a curse on Hooters, and Hooters is on board this weekend, I think.
Ooh, big brain.
Maybe it's smart all around.
All right, chat. Are you guys gonna pick Chase, or are we all really gonna go without picking Elliott at a road course?
No. The chat is definitely on Chase Elliott.
Yeah, they're picking Elliott.
There's a
I'm
lot
looking
of
at
Chase
it.
Elliott's in the chat.
Yeah, they're probably like, why the hell did none of us pick him?
And I'm pretty sure he's in the Hooters car this weekend.
He is.
And they've
He
never
is.
been to victory lane.
Oh my God, that's funny.
I see a lot of Elliott's in the chat.
No, they've never been to victory lane with Chase.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was about to say, I'm like,
yeah. Hooters. They've been to victory lane plenty of time. But no, not Chase.
All right, that's amazing. All right, well,
I'm sorry, your reaction was priceless when I said that.
you
like,
picked Chase
whoa.
last week. I assumed you wouldn't.
Yeah.
How did Chase Briscoe get 3 picks? And I was definitely going to pick him before the guest pick ever said that.
That's crazy.
I just want to.
I picked Cindric.
I
y'all
want to root
picked
for a fun
Briscoe.
story. The thing is, when you pick Chase Elliott or Kyle Larson in one of these races, it's like I find myself rooting for them on Sunday, and it's like that's boring. I want to root for some
Yeah.
like exciting dude. Like I want Kurt Busch to sneak in, or Chastain, or Cindric, or Briscoe. You know,
Or Derek Cope, one of those guys. No.
Derek Cope.
But wow, that is something else. Well, there you have it. There are picks. There will definitely be some shakeups, I think, in the points in our.
Did the chat
points this year.
picked Chase Elliott, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, this has been a ton of fun. As we begin to wind down the show, I have been able to see the super chats that y'all have sent in since our technical glitch. I've had a different window open, and that one is showing me real-time super chats. So I do want to thank as many people as I possibly can. Again, a huge apology for the YouTube glitch that stopped us from seeing the first half of super chats. Really do apologize for that. But in the last 30 or 40 minutes or so, thank you to Preston Friels for the 10. What driver has taken the biggest jump this season? And sorry, let me read it. And who out of the younger drivers are the best at super speedway racing? For me, it would be Blaney, Jones, and Byron. I agree with those as being the top 3 on super speedways. I always say Eric Jones is an underrated super speedway racer. Biggest jump forward this year, I think we have to say Tyler Reddick. I mean, he's actually looking like a playoff driver, right?
Yeah.
And he had some glimpses last year, but wow, they've really stepped up this year.
Well, remember at the start of the season,
What about you,
it was
Jared?
looking like a sophomore slump at first.
William Byron. I think William Byron has went from a mid-pack driver to an outside championship contender.
Well, he was in the
over the span-
playoffs.
He's
playoffs
been
last
very
year, at least.
consistent. He's
Yeah,
been very
but-
consistent this year, though.
But last year he got in large part due to a win at Daytona.
True.
Yeah.
Like
true.
this
this
year,
year,
he did. I mean, if he hadn't won a race at this point, like he'd still be in pretty good shape.
I think
like right now, he's like 3rd or 4th in the regular standings. He's
third
really
in
good.
Points. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Bob Pockers, thanks for the super chat. Does Indy have lights? I don't think it does.
No,
I think we should ask Bob.
Yeah, Bob, you should know this. Why are you asking?
Yeah,
us?
you should know. You should know. Why the hell are you?
And it should stay with
I
us.
don't think that's the real Bob Pockris. The thumbnail photo looks like a Bob Pockris mugshot or something. It's kind of creepy, actually. Thank you, Alex, for the super chat. If I'm Matt, try to get the 54 car for like 5 races to try and get a full-time ride at KBM, like the 51 or the 18. Yeah, you could do like what Daniel Hemrick did last year and do some part-time races for Gibbs or a really competitive team. We got one from Matt Dedo. That's really literally how it's written
I
out.
saw that.
Says, me greater than Dale Earnhardt. That's some confidence right there. From Alex again, if I'm Rick Ware Racing, get Brett Moffitt for one of the cars.
Yeah, yes. That'd be perfect. Yes, please.
Not bad at all.
Yes.
From Brady Travis with a thick Shrek face profile picture, says F1 left the tradition of Indy for nothing. When did F1 last race at Indianapolis?
2007.
That long ago. Wow.
Yep,
How the hell did
2007.
I know that?
Wow. Good job, Jarrett. The Midwest things, you just like, everything that happens in the Midwest, I guess.
You
It's
know
a regional thing. Well, thank you, OJ and Toothpaste 2, the sequel. Y'all hype up Haley Deegan too much. Not that good. I don't think we've mentioned Haley Deegan all night.
What are you don't watch the show, bro. You do not watch the show. What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about, bro?
We didn't even talk about her today.
We didn't even talk about her today, and we have criticized her on the show so many times. Get out of here, boy. Oh my God.
Nope. We need to fill in the stereotype. Haley Deegan is the greatest one.
And
since
the
Red
greatest
Byron.
thing since sliced
Okay,
bread.
let's just establish this. Yes, we are all simps. We know this. Just kidding.
I mean, obviously, when Deegan does good, we'll give her props. But I mean, for the most part, this year she's been quiet. So that's false. Liar.
Some people in the chat are saying it was 2005, but then others are saying yes, 2007.
2007.
05 was the disaster one.
Yeah. That was
And
the worst
07.
F1 race. Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, I have to look up do my F1 research.
I'm learning as I go along.
I'm impressed, very impressed. Vote Kyle 3000, thank you. He says Hooters curse continues. That's what you pointed out earlier, Danny, which is maybe a reason to stay away from Chase this weekend. But I think if anyone can overcome the Hooters curse, it's Chase Elliott at a road course. Another one from Irvin Alvarado. Appreciate that. Team Penske for both Indy and bad cars do better do well in front of the boss after Power and Brad played bowling with their teammates. That's true. It was a bad weekend for Penske.
Yeah,
Power was all over everybody in the IndyCar race.
Yeah.
And then from the Dom Goblin, thinking about going to Martinsville. Jarrett, heard you're interested. If you drive, come by my town of the Football Hall of Fame and go. Seats in turns 1 and 2. You got an open invite, Jarrett.
Well, I'll be in Martinsville. I don't know the exact plans just yet, but I know I will be there both days. So hope to see you.
Sweet deal. From Slogano, another one for you, Jarrett. Jarrett, make a DraftKings fantasy league for the chat. I assume that's what DK stands for.
I'd have to learn more about it.
Now, why are they asking you? Do you do DraftKings? Isn't Darian the one who said he
No.
does?
So in Vegas, it's illegal, and I can't even access the app out here. So
That's
yeah,
so
I would have to move.
Yeah,
I'd have to move.
Like I
It's
tried
like a
doing
blackout or something like that.
Yeah.
and like I tried to do a certain like there's a DraftKings normal like fantasy app, and then there's like a DraftKings like straight up sportsbook.
Yeah.
And I can't do the sportsbook app except in like Indiana, Tennessee, and like 3 or 4 other states.
Freaking Vegas protecting the sports bookies out here and stuff.
No. I mean, like, I think it's like 43 states you can't use the sportsbook app.
Oh, okay. So it's not just Vegas. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Like, I have to be in the casino for DraftKings to use that app.
What the heck?
Because
so many weird
Illinois
rules.
is stupid.
Whereas here in Tennessee, you can use it anywhere.
Yeah.
You lucky son of a gun.
That's crazy.
I genuinely don't know what the law in Texas is. Somebody in the chat, let me know. From Matt Wolf, thank you. My friends and I are driving from Jersey to Indy. It's one of my friends' first live race. Hoping to run into you guys there. Love the podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
awesome.
You, man. Thank you.
I hope your friend
Appreciate
has a great time, and hopefully we do run into you while we're out there.
Yeah.
Another one from TVP_83. Thank you so much for the support tonight. Thanks for letting me do guest picks this week. Great honor, and hope you guys have fun at Indy. Thank you for stepping up. We forgot to ask Carson Hocevar his picks. If trucks were racing, we'd obviously know he'd pick himself.
Yeah.
And then I believe the final super chat of the night from Preston Freels. Cody Ware said he wouldn't race for his dad anymore, and now he races for his dad's teams in America's 2 biggest motorsports. Yeah, he expanded his line, his number of races he's doing. Yeah, I don't know the story there.
Maybe it's like what Danny does with Alex Bowman picks.
Oh, reverse psychology. That's right. The little reverse psychology.
Dad, I don't want to race for you anymore. And then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, can I have the IndyCar seat?
Yeah. Can I be in the car seat as well, bro? Like, so
fingers
he got his
crossed
wish,
instead
I guess.
And one more from the Dom Goblin. Jared, are you still interested in the old Daytona hat? Jared, there's so many people pitching things to you right here.
That's right. I gotta check my Twitter DMs. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'll check my DMs. I'm so sorry. I'm not. You can ask them. I'm not on Twitter as much as people think.
Oh no, he stays off of it.
He's been
as much
camping
as
out in the
possible.
woods for a few days as well. He's been off the grid completely almost.
Yeah.
Okay, word of advice to make if you're so for me, I'm on Twitter just for NASCAR. Word of advice to make it so much better. I told these guys it's the funniest thing. I literally blocked everyone in Congress. It makes Twitter so much better.
Yes,
nothing
no more,
political ever comes
no
up on my
more
timeline.
drama.
It's
Yes.
amazing.
No more political BS, all that stuff.
So I'll try and get on Twitter more later this week. I'll definitely be on there during the weekend. So I'll look pretty soon.
Good stuff. Well, that's going to do it for the show tonight. Really appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you all so much for the super chats. We really do appreciate the support. Thanks again to Carson Hocevar for joining us for that interview. Really enjoyed speaking to a playoff driver. Have we ever had? Have we had a playoff?
We've had playoff drivers. We've had them before.
We've had some of the Hendrick guys last year. Yeah, we've had some playoff drivers, but still pretty cool. Pretty cool to have Carson Hocevar on the show. I don't think we've ever had a Truck Series playoff driver on during the Truck Series playoffs. At least not that I remember. So that's pretty sweet. Next week we will be on Jarrett's channel. I never know where I'm pointing. The Iceberg will be on his channel next week, Wednesday night, August 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So same time, but a slightly different location. Are we gonna? Or yes. Do we know who our guest is?
Exactly.
I think we have a pretty exciting guest next week.
We have an idea. We don't want to say anything just yet, but he may or may not be a future SRX driver.
You'll love it. You guys will love it. Trust me. You guys will love this.
Do you think he likes being introduced as that, a potential future SRX driver?
I'm on to stay cryptic here.
Yeah.
All right.
So you guys take your pick in the chat.
His name has a vowel in it.
I'll say there's a few people in the chat that will be extremely excited.
Has he ever drove a car before?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we're giving it away. I think that's way too specific.
Wow.
Well, yeah, and really quick, I want to bring up if you're going to Daytona, remember that three of us will be there, and also we'll be there joined by Urinating Tree, 5 Points Vids, and Emp Lemon later this month. So that's pretty cool too, and we got a lot of other cool stuff in the works.
Yeah,
very, very exciting.
Stay tuned for that.
A lot of traveling coming up. Excited to be at Indianapolis, Daytona a couple weeks after that. I know individually we all have some other random races we'll be at the rest of this season. So really excited to be out in person, watch these fast race cars do their speedy things, and say hi to as many of you guys as we possibly can. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Jarrett, do you have the Dale call ready?
The Dale call.
Hopefully it doesn't bring all the crickets back. But thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next week. Oh, his camera was going to fall over. Bye,
Goodbye!
Everyone.